What's up, everybody? This is Darkish. Welcome to Rippaverse NRT. How my Rippa head's doing tonight? So yeah, we're gonna be going through some more fan art, just like we did last week. Um, you guys seem to really like that, so I'm gonna be doing that again. Here, I got some new fan art too. So yeah, all right. Let's get to it just as soon as I can get everything loaded up. Gotta Just give me 1 second, guys, and I'll get everything loaded up. There we are. Okay, so as soon as I can, nope, get everything. Me share. Sorry for the dead air, guys. Just give me just a second here. Apparently, nothing wants to pop up, so. Here we go. Let's, Oh, trying to find some more on Google because I didn't find much on Twitter this time. I did find the statue I was working on though, so that was kind of cool. It's on Google, but let's get this started here. Let's see. Should I count memes? So, number one, we have Crossing Cosmos with Yara. That's a gorgeous picture of Yara. Love it. 100%. Kudos on that one. That's beautiful. Okay, that's a gorgeous picture of Yara. Big shout out to Crossing Cosmos. Let's see. You got the $3 million Yara Stay Hydrated picture. I'm sure y'all seen that one before. If it will stop resetting itself. Game design Yara. Looks like they gave her lightning powers. This is the one we were talking about the other night. Let's see. And that one is. Let's see who did. Unbound Sketcher did that one. So let's check them out. Vesper D did the CGI Yara. Golem Wolf Draws did that one. That was a really good one too. The cutesy little anime one. Mirai Vegeta Mega Month Saiyan did that one. Little anime chibi Yara. It's adorable. Sean Stevens did this one. It's a really intense anime looking one. It looks really cool. Awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Jordan Mazel did this one. That's pretty cool right there. Art of Thomas Took. It's Young Rippa, and it looks like it's just some guy right there. Yeah, it's young Rippa and just some guy. That's cool. Backwards. Yeah. Let's see. There is Evan Bryan with Asam and Yara versus the Alpha Core. See if anybody else posted on it. Yeah, there's the Yara part right there. Totally cool to see. the breakdown. What's up, Barrett? How was your day, man? What am I rubbing? Oh, my green screen. I was wondering what was making noise behind me. Kept hearing something rubbing behind me. I didn't know what it was. And, all right, let's see. That is Otis. Otis did that one. Let's see. John, the casual artist, did this one. And then we're back to what we were at last week, where we started last week. So, yeah, there's not a lot of new art, at least that I've found, and I haven't just scoured for it yet. This is just kind of a last minute. I knew I was gonna come on tonight, but I've been working all day, so I just figured I'd come on and see what was going on with the art stuff. That's what I managed to save throughout the week. So there'll probably be another art stream later on this week. I just wanted to get that out. So yeah, we're at 118. That number up top is wrong. I saw it earlier today. It was 118. So very cool. I will be printing the hat. I'll start printing the hat tomorrow. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I haven't done the numbers on it. Let me actually see how long that's going to be, because I guess this counts as fan art. Not Blender. I don't want Blender. See if it'll let me open that up this time, because it wouldn't last time. Last time it tried to fight me. But I know it's kind of on the late end for a video, but hey, you know, whatever. It all works out good. Let's see here. Where is my... Don't want my slicer. I want 3D paint. Where did I even save that to? Just a sec, guys. I'm trying to find what I did with the file for the hat. See if this is it. Nope, that's not it. See if it'll let me open it up. I'll show it, and I'll work on that, getting that 100% ready to print. So I just gotta find it first. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I don't want Blender. That's what I want right there. But it's not opening up. Okay. Maybe it'll open in Blender. Let's see. No. Let me try to add another one and see if I can get it to load, because it does not want to load this hat image. on here. But yeah, it's still showing as all black for some reason. Wonder why it won't open this up in it. For some reason, it's not registering it as a window. So let me. Yeah, I suck at Streamlabs, guys. I will fully admit that. I despise this program. But there's really not one better. Screen capture games and apps. Let's try screen capture. There we go. Okay. Alright. Yeah, there it goes. So, this is going to be the... Or this is at least the design for it. So, for the 3D printed logo. And I don't know if the lightning bolts are supposed to be curved in or if they're supposed to be on the side like that. I really don't know, judging from the flat image. So, but that's what it's gonna be pretty much. Maybe I can get in touch with Eric and find out what it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be on the side or on the back or whatever. But we'll see. You know, it's pretty much gonna look like that when it prints off, and it's gonna be the size of an actual hat. So, but I just don't suggest wearing it at all because that would suck. Your head will thank you for not wearing this thing. But I don't. I mean, whoever wins it, that's let me see if I can give it a little color so y'all can see the kind of the shape of it all out. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's a hat. It's just a hat, but it's make a cool little desk ornament or whatever you want to have in the background. Maybe showcase it with your book if you get it. Either way, it'll it'll look good once I'm finished with it. Get it printed off. And I'll show it on here, and then I'll pick a winner. That's how that's gonna go. But yeah, I got a busy week ahead of me with this. Oh, and then yeah, pretty much that's what it's gonna be. I may do an art stream one night if you guys would think that would be cool. Like maybe drawing Rippaverse characters or something like that. On here. Just trying to do my part, see what's going on. But yeah, that is going to be the hat that is going to be given away for sure. We reached 100 subs in a week, which I did not expect to happen like that fast. So I want to thank all y'all for that. What's up, Hell? What's up, buddy? Yeah, I may do a draw stream. I'm not gonna do a time lapse video, but I may do a draw stream. I cannot read y'all's writing for some reason. This thing hates me. Okay, let's move y'all over there. All right, so we can read y'all's text in there. So yeah. So y'all can screenshot this, or and save it if you'd like. I got, oh shit, don't need to do that. I got them where I wanted them. I'll have to fix that. 'Cause I didn't attach them, so they were kind of just there. I'll have to fix that before I print it off. Otherwise, they'll be trying to fall off while I'm trying to print. Yeah, some ridiculous stuff like that. But as you can see, like there's two little knobs in there that I got to cut out, and I got to do a little bit more work on the hat. It's not perfect yet, but it will. Damn it! Stop it, hat. Be a good hat. Let me click all these together. That way it'll hold them together when I move something. But yeah, it's gonna look like that, and I may like I said, I may do a draw stream. I started working on my Universal Bible today, so and I shared pictures on Twitter if you saw that for my comic that I'm working on, which I'm working on three different series, but they're all years away from being completed. I've got one of them is going to be a martial arts deal, like 100% like anime style martial arts manga, minus the superpowers that come with like it's shonen manga. The another one is more of a vertigo killer. It's a high magic setting in the modern era. And then the superhero one that I'm working on, which I got the idea for yesterday, so I started working a little bit on the Universe Bible for it today. It's a little bit different because it's not exactly superheroes. It's like, what if every superhero was Thor kind of deal? Let's put it like that. That's the best way I can put it without giving out what it is. Yeah, so. But yeah, that's what's going on with me today. I have missed every bit of news that has gone on with the Rippaverse today being at work. I tried to watch Eric's stream while I was at work, and apparently I missed where he read my super chat, so there you go. But yeah, super chat was pretty much just asking, like just letting him know I would love to have him on the show, stuff like that. I didn't ask for when or anything like that. I was just like, hey, whenever you get time, man, I would love to have you on the show. And that is still the truth. Like if he wanted to call on right now, I'd be like, yes, let's do this. But yeah, I know he's busy, so I'm not gonna rush it at all. Like I figured that'll come with time, anyway. Trying to get him on the show. Yeah, I mean that's cool, man. Like I've written half a novel in my life, and I mean I was halfway done with this thing, and it was on an old computer, and I did not have it backed up. I thought I did, but I didn't. The old computer crapped out on me, so I lost every bit I wrote, and I got discouraged from writing after that for a little bit. They dropped a new spider character. Yeah, I saw that. I don't care at all about that. I'm like, do what you do, Marvel. Y'all just keep fucking up. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm not even discouraging it anymore. Just like, keep it up, guys. Yeah, y'all are making it easier for us. If they keep going on the current trajectory, they are on the same. Yeah, I bet Twitter's having a field day with it. Yeah, if they keep fucking up, they're. Hey, that's cool, man. I'm always looking for somebody that can ghostwrite for me, because I'll have an idea and then I'll try to sit down and write it, and I just completely just like fuck writer's block, right? So, but yeah, man, you keep doing it. Spider girls are hot. But yeah, yeah. I mean, they're girls in skin tight bodysuits. Of course, they're hot. You know, I've got a Spider Gwen sitting right behind me. It's a Virgin cover of Spider Gwen right behind me. Just because I happened to, I bought it at a comic book auction, right? So never even opened it. It's just kind of how it works, you know. Just but I've been kind of thinking on designs all day for these characters, and apparently Streamlabs announced a web-based video editor. So they're making it where you don't need another program to edit videos. I don't care. I'm not editing my videos anyway. Fuck that. I tried that with the last podcast. I don't like it. I don't like editing videos. That's why y'all get all the raw content, no matter what the fuck I say. That's stupid as hell. Like I wish I had more fan art to show right now, but I don't want to get on Reddit right now. And a bunch of the people on the Reddit are just haters. So hey, that's cool. If you're writing a story, like I said, I've got a bunch of stories in my head. I run D and everything, so like it's normal for me to just come up with a story. And I was thinking about turning some of those that I've already ran into stories, but at the same time, I'm like, I've already told that story once. You know, I don't want to go through it again, but I will if I. But yeah, man, good luck on your writing for sure. Um, I've got to I've got to get I've got to get an artist and a cover artist. I've got a cover artist who will do it for me. I'll probably have to crowdfund to get to pay him though, because he's a painter. He's not really a comic artist. So, but I'll probably have to shout out to Jeff Chandler Arts. But I'll probably have to crowdfund just to pay him to do my covers. I need somebody who can do interiors, and I'm working on the concept art myself, because I can draw a little bit, but it's not the style I want my books to be in, if that makes sense. So I can do the concept art myself, but I've got to get somebody who can turn my art into what I want it to look like. Um, like I said, I've got three different, completely different stories to working on. Um, 1 second, let me. I don't want to know that stuff about like why comments can be turned off. I don't care enough about that. YouTube. I just literally want to get into my chat for a second. All right. Yep, long road ahead, but it just got a little bit shorter. You know, like the last 2 weeks have made it just a little bit shorter. What the fuck was? I can never remember. Oh yeah. Son. There we go. Hey, that's the way to do it. Make it over 100 pages. Mine, I was talking about this the other night. Like, my main one is going to be 74 books total. And they are each, at least the main 22, are going to be bigger books. They're going to be like 90 to 100 page books, each one of them. And mine is set up like tarot cards. So, front, you read it. You read one side of it. You flip it over upside down. You read the other half. So it's 2 books in one. And we're saying 100 pages going forward. So it's actually the way that some people would consider it would be 200 pages cover to cover, because some people count it as front and back as 2 pages. After the first 22, you would have new 52. Yeah, I would have. It's going to have every 74 total. Is what I think I've counted it as. So it's be 74 books total, and the other books all tie into like the side characters from each book, and it shows how they're connected to the overarching world, because each story is an individual story. Each major arcana card is a, and then I would, I'm gonna do a lenticular thing like Eric did with his for the cards, but I'm gonna give a deck of tarot cards away with my campaigns. So yeah, that's something that I'm working on. It's I don't mind talking about it because I don't have anything out yet. But what's up, Sonny Kim? I think I read your name right. It's red right now, and I don't know why. Like every name that posts in this is red, so I can't really read them on that red background. For like normally they post different colors, but everyone posting red tonight, so I guess it's red tonight. Let me move this. So, but yeah, my book is it's gonna be a long time before mine's released. My that one anyway, and I've got 2 more that I'm working on in the meantime. The best way I can describe the martial arts one, it's basically Kung Fu Panda, but you combine Zootopia in it, and you put it in like and what if Tai Lung was the hero? But it's not really. I mean, that's kind of the best workaround I can give you from actually telling the story to it. So, and then and it's like set in the Edo period Japan, but it's like anthropomorphic characters. Um, And then the newest one is basically if it's a superhero book, but it's like every character being Thor, being a Thor type character instead of being like actual superheroes. So they're all gods. It's the best way I can put it. And in the modern era. Yeah, yeah, getting into comics as a writer is a whole other thing. Um, but luckily, like I've got these stories, and I've got there's a bunch of them that I'm like I'm trying to get some more D&D stories also for my content here. Not necessarily on this channel, but on my Twitch for sure. I'm running a Pokemon D&D game right now, but I'm wanting to run some actual D&D games, like some not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons, but you know other games than just the Pokemon one. Um, yeah, and then like I really gotta get some. Once the Rippaverse content hits, like it's going to be crazy on this channel for sure. Because I'll still be doing this every day, even through release, and I'll be coming up with theories all the time once we get some actual information, once the actual book's out. But I'm trying to think of something right now, but I really don't have much to go off of anymore. Like I've kind of exhausted the theories that I've got for now. Unless I just go into like start looking at the other characters in the thing and just start speculating about them, I don't really have a lot to work with. So, my theory videos are going to be kind of slow until I think of something. But I can always do videos like this. You know, just I showed the fan art earlier in the video. And that took all of about 2 minutes. So I didn't have that much to add to it yet. So I may do another fan art video later this week. But yeah, if you're just joining now, that picture that you're seeing up there at the top is the helmet, or the hat that I'm going to be 3D printing, start 3D printing tomorrow, and I'll be giving it away to one of my subscribers. So yeah, keep watching for updates of that for sure, because once it's printed, I'm going to do a video. And I don't know how long it'll take to print. It could be a couple days, depending on how much accuracy I want in it, you know. Okay. Uh, I don't really want to, like, I know this weekend has been a lot of like there's been a lot of hate flowing our way. Like the salt is real. um from that side. Like I never set this video up to be a drama channel. I don't want to get into the drama part of the fandom unless it's on purpose, like this weekend was, you know, like me getting into it, but that wasn't really me getting into the drama. That was just me like calling out stupid shit, like PayPal, like that's retarded. But yeah, so once we get to 500, I will be. I think I'm going to get something from the Rippaverse website, depending on if I have patrons or not at the time, or if I I'm making better money at the time. If I can sell a couple 3D prints, I can do it easily. But once we get to that point, I'll be giving something else away from the Rippaverse site. And then when we get to 1,000, who knows what I'll be giving away then? But um, I may start doing like if y'all want to see it, like creation videos, like me creating the hat and stuff like that. Like, I may start doing stuff like that if you guys are interested in that. But it all depends, if there's any interest in seeing the process of 3D printing while we're waiting on the comic to release, or seeing the process of designing 3D prints, because it just all depends on if y'all are interested in that or not. Until we get some more content. Okay, you are. Oh, that's cool. All right. I mean, like if one of y'all is interested in it, I'll do it. Just uh, because it's fun for me to do. I don't want to get in. I'm not usually the first one to get through on the real world side of it anyway. So chances are you heard about the PayPal thing 400 times before I covered it yesterday. So I'm gonna I'll work on the news involving the universe and stuff like that, but the PayPal stuff I probably won't be covering that much at all anymore, or just stuff like that. I'll definitely get involved in the hate stuff, and if somebody hating on the universe for stupid reasons, you'll definitely see me get involved in it on Twitter if nothing else. But I don't know if I'm going to be making videos on that specifically. And I'm wanting to, like I said, eventually Marvel and DC will not exist 100% in this channel. Like right now, they're all we've got to compare stuff to. So yeah, PayPal's an old story at this point. Yeah, exactly. I covered it a little bit yesterday, but I try not to stay on it. It was just one of those things. I'm not gonna be covering that anymore at all. Like that's not the kind of news I want to cover. I'd a lot rather just show somebody's fan art on here and keep the love in the community instead of like saying, hey, don't dispute this, blah blah blah. Stuff Rippa's already said. Just quoting Rippa. Um, I am going to if he drops more trailers and stuff like that, I will start showing them. Um, Stuff like that. I was just a little late to do that on this one because it dropped the weekend before I started this channel, so there's no point in me showing that one unless it's just to prove like somebody like say somebody says something about like the code of ethics that's wrong, and I'm like no, this is what the code of ethics are, coming from his mouth themselves. So that's kind of where that's gonna go. But as far as just talking about random stupid shit, I'm probably not gonna cover that because I'm not the first to cover it. But I can do stuff like show fan art and show appreciation to the community like that, and like, do my own like the 3D printing stuff. I can do that all day, and I can show the designs of it and how to do it, and I might do a whole how-to series with it if you guys seem interested in that. And I mean, I could load up a game and play it while we're just discussing like what could happen in the Rippaverse. Um, any ideas would be helpful. Like I know I talked for 9 hours over the weekend, not including yesterday's stream. So from Thursday and Friday, I talked 9 hours, and then yesterday my throat was shot, and today I've been at work all day. So
just seeing how things go. But I mean, the channel's still booming. Like we slowed down a little over the weekend, but I expected that. You know, um, I'm not too concerned. I don't care if I get another subscriber or not. That's not really a concern to me. As far as it goes, like I could stay in limbo and I'd still be on here talking about it. Um, I know it's gonna I know it's gonna get bigger once between now and when it drops live. Now, getting monetized, that would be great. I would love to do this as a full time gig. I already am, but I mean, I would love to be able to, you know, be here talking to you guys. Yeah, yeah, that looks. I don't even want to. That all looks terrible. But yeah, I would a lot rather be 3D printing and talking to you guys than having to disappear on the weekends because that's when I go to my job. It's weekends. Through the week, I'm trying to 3D print and all that. So I do have my my Patreon is set up and my Subscribe Star is set up. If you guys want to donate there, um, I went over the tiers the other night. They're the exact same. They're just word for word the exact same. I do have a Discord set up for for those. Um, if y'all want to play games with me or whatever, we can do that too. We can play play some PlayStation, play some computer games, whatever. I'm down for it. Um, if you guys want to um, come on here and talk to me. Like share your love as a fan on the channel. We can arrange that. I'm trying to come up with new ways to just make this channel grow up and be the best it can be, right? And I've said this before. I don't care if I have uh one one person on here or a million. I will never change. I'm the same person always. I just um and if I see one of your guys chats, especially like when we blow up, if I see one of your guys chats who's been with me from the beginning, definitely I will be like, hey, what's up, guy? If when once I can read that. Um, yeah. So yeah, once I can, if I see one of you guys, I mean, I'll have you guys added as like with the little gray check mark you'll see on some of the channels. I'll have you guys added like that. So when I see y'all, I'll shout out to you and all that when I see you in the chat. Especially the guys who stay with me, for that. Like I said, I was not expecting the channel to blow up this fast. I was expecting like maybe to have 100 people by the time that the comic book drops. So I had to get to work designing this hat really quick. uh, like I woke up Thursday and then it was at 100 and I'm like, oh shit. Like oh shit. I've got to I got to get to work designing this hat. So I said I'm gonna try to get it started tomorrow, and I'll give updates on that if I'll give the updates on that as I'm doing it. If you follow me on Twitter, I haven't figured out how to post stuff like pictures and stuff on YouTube yet. I cannot find the button. I've tried to find it. I don't know how to do it. So I know some people can, but I have not figured it out yet. I think you've got to be monetized to be able to do it. That's the best I can figure because I followed the directions exactly and I can't find it. So um, there's that. But you can definitely see it on Twitter if you follow me there. Um, and I'll definitely get on here and like design some stuff. I've got to work on the Rippaverse statue too at some point. I've got to continue working on that. And I may start from scratch when I do it. I don't know. I'm 5 hours into it, but I'm still like kind of about the design, because it's one of those things. This is, if you've never worked with Blender and you're new to Blender, it's like I'm new to Blender. I have not played with Blender a lot, um, but I have done like statues and stuff like that. And the more you want it to look like the character, the more time you have to put into it. Okay, and sometimes that requires backtracking back to an older save file of it, um, because sometimes you might press a button and something might swell up too big, and you might not notice it then. You might not notice it until you're 2 or 3 hours into it, and this cheek is just swelled up out to here, and you can't get it back down to where it needs to be. And you don't even realize it until it's that far. So that's a thing, but yeah, so I'm going to be doing stuff like that, and I may just start designing like minis, for like miniature gaming stuff like that, or just collectibles. I may start doing stuff like that, and selling those. I don't know yet. Oh, hey, welcome, Eric. Oh, you're just in time, man. I ran through the fan art like in 2 minutes. I think I ran through most of that before anybody showed up. So it's at the beginning of the video. I didn't really have time to collect any today, as far as that goes. But because on Sundays I work 12 hours, so yeah. So if you want to watch that, you can catch it at the end, and I give all of them a shout out. All the artists who did something, and I do have talk about the giveaway and showing y'all what it's going to look like right here, because this is it right here. It's going to be just I mean, it's not going to be the black color. That's just so y'all can see it better. But it's going to be a full like cap, but it's going to be hard plastic. I don't suggest wearing it. It does suck, because you can't change the size of it or anything. So definitely don't try to wear it. But unless you just can put it on like, I may print it big enough to where it'll fit over a normal hat. That way, it looks, you can wear it without hurting yourself. But I don't suggest wearing it at all, unless you do something like that, because it will suck. Whoever gets this, because it will be hard plastic, and it's going to be damn near impossible to break, as far as that goes. If I can print it thick enough, I don't know if I will be able to or not yet. Not until I get it programmed in the slicer and everything, and find out. But I may, like I said, I may walk y'all through that, and just if y'all ever want to get into 3D printing, I am not the best person to watch on it. I know what I do to fix it, but I have gone through several videos when I was learning how to 3D print. Like, I was going through several people's videos, and none of their advice helped me. Not a single bit of it. And I've learned that every machine is different. Even the same kind of machine is different from another one. It's just like it. Like, they are their own entity, and you've got to find your own way to do it. But I will definitely show y'all how some of the software works if y'all want. But yeah, so I didn't find that much fan art, and all right, let's play a game. All right, so we're gonna play just a hypothetical game with actors, right? Okay, so what actor could you see playing Awesome in a movie? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm only gonna print 3 of these. I'm gonna print one and I'm gonna give it away to one of my subscribers. I'm gonna print one and I'm gonna give it to Eric, and then I'm gonna keep one for myself. So there's only gonna be 3 of these in existence. Oh yeah, definitely. There's gonna be a ton of fan art. Like I'm gonna do one of these fan art videos every week if I can. I just didn't have time to get anything together today, and I decided that I'm not gonna really do any more streams like I did last night that were about like PayPal and the hater conspiracies. There's already enough people doing that. Um, the black guy from the last Predictor movie. I don't know who that is, but okay, yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't know what that is. Can't say. See, I tell you that I would not necessarily pick an actor that is there today. I would find someone who looks like him and teach them how to act. You know, that's what I would do. Um, as far as his yeah, cast of unknowns, exactly. That's what I would do. Um, I would get a stunt guy, like legitimately a dude who does stunts, who who can favor awesome. And there's one. There is the guy who works on Mandalorian. He works as one of the Mandalorian stunt doubles. He could probably pull off awesome. Um, yeah, yeah, I would love an animated universe for sure. Um, you got to hire voice actors for that though. Um, so all depends on who you want to get to do the voice acting, or if you because you voice acting you can't really go the unknown route. So somebody needs to be at least trained a little bit to do voice acting. I will say that. Um, okay, I will. Um, but what's up, Sam? Uh, but yeah, like I would say, but definitely with voice actors, you've got to get somebody who knows what they're doing and who knows how to voice act or who is learning to voice act. The worst thing that any Hollywood movie does with any kind of animation usually is hiring a regular actor to be the voice of a character, right? Because they're going to sound like themselves, and it's not. It stops being. It's a lot cheaper. Yeah, it is a lot cheaper. Like you said, but it's like you got to have somebody that is trained to do it, or at least can do it. Like I can do a little bit of voice acting, just a little bit, but I can't do that much, right? Most of them all come off as Southern either way. Or I can do Irish, or I can do accents very easily, but like I can't just go up there and voice just some random character. Like I cannot do that. I play D&D. I can throw a couple of voices around, but I don't have that many in my arsenal. Um, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Ripper will definitely hire the right people. Um, exactly. Yes. Yeah, we don't definitely don't have to worry about that. You know, a bunch of suits who don't get it. Yeah, exactly. Um, Yeah, they're kind of. I'm leaning towards the Accepts being a mix of mutants, like people born with powers, and people who get powers from accidents. I'm not thinking that's just the word for people with powers from Earth, right? Accepts, yeah. But yeah, yeah. Ripa's definitely gonna hire if when it gets to Ripa Studios, it's definitely going to be the right people for the job. Cause yeah, Awesome's a super. Yeah, that's already been confirmed. He's an accept. Yeah. Have you ever used Blender, Barrett? It's a free program. Like I could pull it up and show it to you right now if y'all want, and just show you kind of how some of the animation software works in it. Because I use it for my sculpting, and I use it for. I'm trying to learn animation too myself. I, y'all will learn. I'm a jack of all trades. I do a little of everything. Um, as far as that goes, I'm just. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love D&D. Like that's my favorite like hobby to do. If you can, I don't know if you can see it right here, but here's some of the D&D books that I've kept over the years. Like I've got the 3.5 Player's Handbook, 5.0, the 5 Player's Handbook, second edition of Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages, Kindred of the East, Kane's Chosen, and Defenders of the Faith right here. So, like, yeah. Um, I've I've downloaded it like 6 months ago to try to help me with creating 3D models, and it was such a pain in the ass to learn back then. It pissed me off, so I quit playing with it. I most If I can use 3D Builder to build something like the hat, I'll use 3D Builder all day long over Blender. But 3D Builder doesn't have enough in it. But there's this cool little feature in Blender. This is why I bring it up. Let me swap cameras here, and I can show you. Where is it? Okay, screen capture. Yeah, I'll swap to. Where are you? You're not there. Thank you, Blender, for being so retarded. Not Blender. It wasn't Blender that's being retarded this time. It's the other one. Streamlabs. Pathfinder. I have never. The only Pathfinder I have ever played was We Be Goblins. I'm not a fan of the Pathfinder universe myself, but that's just because it's a less fucked up Faerun. And I say less fucked up, but it's also more fucked up than Faerun. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of Pathfinder itself. Because it's just everything in it is ripped off of Faerun. Um, I like some of the worlds in D&D. I don't agree with the 5e, the people who made 5e, their politics. I don't agree with them. And I don't agree with how they've done things after Tychus came out. But I will defend people playing it because it is the easier version to use online, unless you know 4. And 4 was made for online, but it was just made too early. That was its biggest problem, and the gamest terms they used in it were the other problem. By the time Essentials came out, it was trash. The pay to play character builder too, that was trash. Oh my god. Yeah, Pathfinder is just 3.5. Um, I would like it better if it were a unique setting, but the fact that they ripped off the gods and everything. Oh, Vampire is my favorite game. Vampire and Werewolf, anything World of Darkness or Legend of the Five Rings. I love Legend of the Five Rings. Like samurai game. Like that is by far. It's Monday morning for you, yeah, man. Um, like I just got off work from a 12-hour shift and came right in here and started streaming. So I hear you, man. Um, so yeah, it's but what I was going to with Blender has a 2D animator built into it, and all you got to do is be able to draw on the thing and move it. I was going to show you how it works, but I've got to figure out which window to use because apparently everything on this is set to a different window setting. So let me see here. That's supposed to be 3D, but let's try Blender. Yeah, that okay. That doesn't open up Blender. That opens up this. I don't like that. Forget that one. All right, let's go to where are you? Screen capture. You just gotta find the right one to work for different windows because they do not like each other. Streamlabs doesn't like a lot of stuff. Settings for screen. Like here it is. Okay, so yeah, if you can see that, yeah, Vampire is great. Werewolf is really fun. Like if you've never played Werewolf the Apocalypse, and I'm not talking about the shitty video game because that is 100% trash. But Werewolf the Apocalypse is great, and I love the tonal settings, the tonal shifts between the games in World of Darkness, at least classic World of Darkness. Um, like Vampire is very much a personal horror game where you're playing a monster that's trying to not be a monster as long as you can. And then Werewolf, you were born a monster. You were raised as a monster. Your morals in Werewolf are completely different, but you're all about trying to save the world, right, from the apocalypse, and you're losing. That's the whole thing. Well, the werewolves are losing their war to try to stop the apocalypse. Um, it's very interesting. It's not like your normal werewolves and stuff like that. You're born a werewolf. You shift about the time you're a teenager in that game. It's very interesting. I love it. Wraith is great. If you can get into that mindset of playing Wraith, it's fucking amazing. But yeah, so I'm gonna expand this over everything else so y'all can see it kind of. This is Blender, and you can do anything you want in Blender. That's what I like about it. Like so, here's a circle. All right, I'm gonna hit enter and then go to edit mode. Grab the whole circle. Grab that and move it over just a little bit, and then I'll go to draw again and see if I can highlight it all. Okay. No. No, I don't want that. Okay. So let's say I go down here and I draw the same circle, right? And I move this over just a little, just a hair if I can, if it'll go, and it'll. Okay, so say move it there, and then draw another circle here. Hit enter, You see, it adds that to the timeline. Add another circle here. Oh, excuse me. All right, so animated. Yeah, so that is really cool. You can add a 3D background to it, all kind of stuff. Yes. So if you can learn how to use Blender and you can learn how to use it effectively, that is your best friend for animating. They actually animated what is it? It was one of the the Evangelion movies. The latest Evangelion movie was fully animated in Blender. Like it was fully done in Blender. So like, that's just like how responsive this thing is. If you got a drawing tablet, if you can draw, and if you can, you don't even have to draw consistently. You draw one character, as long as you've got that character from all angles. You can draw it in every angle that you need. You can move it, and then you can actually Oh yeah, I would love to run a game. Like that's one of my tiers on my Patreon is that you can play D&D with me. Like my $10 tier is you can play D&D with me, and that's any D&D game that I'm running. So if you want to, get in on that, that's just so I can the only reason I'm charging for that is so that I can dedicate time to it, right? Because I've got a busy week and all that. I stay busy, but if I can charge you $10 a month to play D&D, there are people on Roll20 that charge $30 per session, and I charge 10 per month to play with me, and you can play in as many games as you want. That's just so I have if I've got a big enough group or if I got to do it multiple days. That's the only reason I charge for that is because I could end up running a game 5 days a week just because of people's schedules. But I would love to run a vampire or werewolf game or any of them. Like Wraith is probably my favorite of the World of Darkness games. I can run any of them. I love every game in it. Mage is cool. Mage is very like you're a reality warper. That's basically what a mage is in this game. So you can bend and shape reality to your will. But the thing is, and then there's no spell list or anything. This is very narrative focused game. It's very your imagination for your spells, depending on what game it is, right? But depending on which powers you select, and you are basically a full-on reality warper. You can change anything in reality to your will, depending on what power set you've got. I'll normally make a time and correspondence mage. That way, correspondence is space. So I'll make a time and correspondence mage and just pop between time, or make a duplicate of myself from 1 second in the past and a duplicate of myself from 1 second in the future. And then I've got 3 of me casting spells. It's very deep. The storyteller in that game just hates you so much, but reality doesn't like being messed with in this. So reality will snap back against you and cause paradoxes. It's really fun if you can get into the mindset of playing it. Let's see. There's Hunter, which you're playing a supernatural hunter. The only thing about this is, so I find one thing in the old book ridiculous, and it's because hunters have supernatural powers too. They're not just like supernatural, like from supernatural or something like that. They have powers too. And the thing about them is, in one page, like this is the only thing that gets me about the old book. In one page, it says you have your life is in danger all the time. Okay, you are a hunter. You know that there's supernatural creatures out there. they're going to be gunning for you, blah blah blah. You know, it's basically saying how dangerous it is to be a hunter. In the very next, on the opposite side of that same page, right, the very next page, it has a picture of a hunter punching a werewolf in the face with a metal arm. Oh, that's cool. I mean, luckily vampires and werewolves are kind of, you know, are they're in the open domain, so open source, so you can use them as much as you like. But yeah, um, werewolf has like a little of everything too. They got were tigers, were sharks. If you want to play something weird, nah, man, have a good one. I'll be this won't be a very long stream tonight because like I said, I've been working for 12 hours. But I just want, like I said, I'm going to be on here every day doing something. Tuesday will be, I'll definitely do that one during the day. Have I ever played Blood Hunt? Yes, I played Blood Hunt. I don't like it. The game is fundamentally retarded and broken as far as that goes. The updates did nothing to fix that. I can't even load into the game half the time. Like I'll get frozen. It'll freeze on the loading screen for me, and the game will still be going on, but it's frozen on the loading screen, so I can't even get past the loading screen. I'll hear my character die before I ever, you know, see anything else. So I don't like it. I tried to play it when it first came out as a beta, like when it was first released. Not a fan. But I'm also not a fan of 5th edition Vampire, which is what that is. Like I do not like 5th edition Vampire, the Vampire the Masquerade. I will not play it. I play 20th Anniversary, which is the best version of it. It should have never been replaced. It should have never been updated. I will only play 4th edition of Legend of the Five Rings, which, if you've never played Legend of the Five Rings, it's very fun. And it's something, so the story to this game was actually built around a card game. Okay. Now, not a lot of people know this, but so it came out as a card game before it was an RPG. And the card game, people who were participating in official tournaments, so they would, whoever won those tournaments, right, affected the canon to the story, right? So that was very interesting. I can't remember what the YouTuber's name is, but he actually covers the whole story of it. But yeah, so it's a very interesting dynamic of how the first edition was built for this. The history, and the history of this game has never changed, other than when they sold it to a different company. But if you've never played Legend of the Five Rings, I'm looking to get a Legend of the Five Rings party together. Like, I would love to play that again. I would love to run that again. Like, that is my game right there. I have to dedicate so much time to playing that game that I don't to the others. Like D&D, if I wanted to play D&D, I could have a story ready in about 5 minutes to start with. With Legend of the Five Rings, I've got to go open that book. I've got to go read that again. I've got to go read the history again. I've got to go read it cover to cover. And then I got to pick up the histories of the empires, and I've got to read that. I've got to know what I'm doing, right? 100%. Because that is the best RPG I've ever played. Okay, it's not the easiest. It's not difficult by any stretch of the imagination. It's a D10 game, but it is by far like the most fun. And like movement is calculated to the inch instead of the they're like 5 feet, so you can move 1 inch or whatever, however much you need to move. Um, it's extremely deadly for players and NPCs. Like it is by far the most deadly RPG I've ever played. I have seen one guy die 3 times within 3 weeks. Right, changes his character up some and survives for a little while. Gets put on trial and loses his trial in the game. But combat trial by combat. He loses a trial by combat, so he's guilty because of that. Right, but it's a samurai game, so one swap can kill you in this game. Like that. That's it's so hyper focused on damage. Like the damage output in this game can get ridiculous, and it can go like to anime standards of just crazy stuff that happens with a sword. Right, if you want to. I love it. I love this game. It is by far my favorite. Um, this is kind of what I had posted to Eric. Like it was a media pitch, right? It's like have everything be in the same universe. Like if instead of adapting one of your stories into a live action, have it be a side story in your universe, right? And for movies, I'm like have card games be from your universe, have music be from your universe. If you do anything about that, not for the universe, but from it, right? But I was kind of leaning into like an RPG. Like I was leaning towards L5R because they turned a card game where people were playing in tournaments into canon, right? They did that with this game, and that is just so impressive to me, right? I love the stories of that of playing like L5R in the card game because it mattered, right? A card game mattered, not like Magic the Gathering where you've got a bunch of hack writers writing stuff that they have no clue about because they weren't the original writers. So, but nothing matters in Magic the Gathering. Not to the canon anyway. Nothing that you do in a tournament matters. But the L5R, like their tournaments mattered to the canon. Can you imagine that? And they would release like this weekly like newsletter type thing that would tell the story of what happened in the card tournament. Like, that's amazing to me. But that's kind of what I was leaning toward when what I was telling Eric. I'm like, hey man, look, this right here. Like, if you can implement this into your game, like if you can't, have it like a card game that exists in your comic, right? If you're gonna make a card game, something like that, or if you're gonna make an RPG, have it something that exists within your universe. It doesn't have to be canon to your universe. Without otherwise, the stories don't have to be, but have them be part of the universe, right? If you can't have them be exactly for the universe, because people, RPG, that's people playing their own stories anyway. So, like, make an RPG from your universe, or make a card game from your universe, or stuff like that. That type of stuff is cool. Like a Pizzac game from Star Wars, right? We've got stuff like that exists. So, like that stuff is kind of interesting to me. But I love like anime and manga. They are my shit. If you ever watch me play on Twitch, I mostly play anime games, or JRPGs, stuff like that. That take 100 fucking hours that I never really get through on Twitch. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be awesome for. Like, I would love to do like a D&D stream of the Ripaverse, for Ripaverse stuff. You know, just just to do it right. Just have random characters that are in the books, but they're just off to the side somewhere in somewhere just excerpts or something like that. I would love to do that. you know, and I will. I will 100% do that. I even got the system for it until I, you know, unless I want to make one for it. But I've got a system that'll work for that. But yeah, I want to see. I want to see the rules to his universe first. You know, within the universe before I do anything like that. But yeah, I would love to do that. I built one around Marvel before, so building it just changing some of the wording doesn't affect anything for this. You know, building a character around Marvel doesn't do. I mean, building it around Marvel is simple enough. So Rippaverse should work fine with that system. So I mean, I've got the system already. I just got to know the rules to the universe. Hmm. Yeah, I would love to be able to say animate Rippaverse like cartoons and stuff like that. I just got to learn how to use the program better or draw in the program better. That's what I got to be able to do. Like I've said it before, I can draw like anime type people, so I'm having to change up my style to match American comic books. But like, yeah, you can see how animating in this thing is super simple. It's just you gotta kind of dedicate time to it because if you do it fast enough and you know how to do it, it's not a problem. I just got to be able I'm learning how to draw on a computer right now. That's not something that I'm used to yet. I'm having to look up here and draw down here, so I'm not used to that yet. I don't have a pad that has the screen on it yet. Um, I will have one, but I don't have one yet, and it's just a matter of time. But yeah, animating, I'm very interested in animation. I'm very interested in writing, and art has always been my thing. I've always been one, you know. I've always had a pencil in my hand drawing or painting or something like that. Just like I said, my style is not suited for American comics. So yeah, an RPG would be great. Like I would love to do it with you guys. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, but I mean, either way, I've got like, and if any of y'all play any any video games, like any multiplayer video games, let me know what they are. We could play some. Like I don't mind that at all. Everybody else is they've got their little sections of the community all together, and that we all share a community, and that's the great thing about it. I'm very much the one that's kind of the odd man out right now because I'm smaller. They most of them don't know I exist, but they know I exist. You know what I mean? Which I don't mind either way. I like talking to you guys. Um, like you guys are the reason I do this every night. And decided that I was going to be the first Rippaverse, you know, channel. But you know, I'll talk about anything. You guys who've been with me for a minute, y'all know I won't talk about anything. I'll argue about anything. Um, I don't mind it at all. It's always fun to me just to do this. But if y'all have any like multiplayer games or anything that y'all want to play, let me know because I've got a few. I don't play too many multiplayer games, but I just decided yesterday to try to finish Avengers, like so I can get that out of the way. But I've been playing with a friend of mine on that, so um, now that they got Black Panther released and everything, so but I haven't been streaming it. I tried to stream Kill a Kill, but it's got a block on it, so I have to actually play it on my PC to stream it. So there's that. And it has one of those visual blocks on it, so it won't show anything that happens in the game unless you stream it from a computer. Um, and I've got My Hero Academia, One's Justice 2. I've never even turned it on. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I've got that. So yeah, I mean, I love my anime games. I don't, and I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2. If anybody wants to play that, I'll play whatever. um, hell, we'll make a stream out of it if y'all want to. But got to come up with something to do until the comic book comes out. So it's either watch me draw circles or, you know, play video games or make up content and hope I'm right or hope I'm wrong or whatever. I gotta get some. If any of you guys have theories and y'all want to come on the channel, let me know. We can talk about it. I will definitely, bring one of you guys on if y'all want. We'll just bullshit. You're into Saitama? Okay. Like I said, I've never watched past 3 episodes of One Punch Man, so I don't know about. I don't know that much about the lore to it. I've always liked shonen anime. I got Jump Force too, but like I've always liked shonen anime, and like I on Jump Force, I've got a team. It's I call it the Vegeta team. It's Vegeta, Hiei, and Killua. And it pisses off one of my friends when I call Hiei the second best Vegeta. uh, and then Killua was just Vegeta if he was a good boy. So yeah. Um, yeah, man. I'll definitely get you on here. You've been with me from the beginning, so you're definitely coming on at some point when you're ready. I'm trying to get Rip on here too. Oh, it was so hot yesterday. I decided to shave my head, and I'm glad I did. But yeah, it's playing the waiting game while we're waiting on the comic.
Yay, some bullshit animation. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm just like I said, it was so hot yesterday. I'm just like, nope. I'm gonna shave. I'm gonna shave my head. I am tired of it right now. It was too long, and I'm just like, and buzz that shit off and call it a day because it'll always grow back. I don't ever have to worry about losing that. uh, yeah. My hair's like super thick too, so I really don't like it once it gets long, and it was way too long. But like yeah, yeah. Y'all want to play some D&D sometime? Y'all let me know, and I'll make it happen. We will make it happen. Cause hey, my phone died. Hey, hell, use the commands if you will. I can't do it right now. It says that my Streamlab says that I gotta sign in to do it, and I am signed in, so it's retarded. Um, and my phone's dead, so I can't post anything right now. But yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let me get that back up here. Get the hat back up. Screen capture. Yeah. So we got the hat. Got the hat back. Yeah. But yeah. So definitely gonna print that tomorrow, and I may do a stream where I'm working on the statue. I don't know, but I may do a stream where I'm yeah, take pictures of me, printing this out or something. Don't know yet. But yeah, so what do y'all want to see in the streams? I mean, I don't have a lot to work with, for theories and stuff right now, and there's definitely no news I'm gonna cover until Eric hits 4 million for sure. Um, I may do a tree fitty episode about tree fitty. But yeah. So what kind of content would you guys like to see as far as this goes? I look at the analytics every day. I know what you guys watch and what y'all don't. But I'd like to ask you, what kind of stuff would you like to see? AC here. Hold on. Let me go here and save that just to make sure. Because I definitely do not want to accidentally erase that. Let me see here. Let's see. I'm looking for one of my 3D files here. So I can show y'all some of this insanity. Here we go. This'll work. Okay. So I know it looks like just plain white right here, but that's because I don't have shadows on. But let's see. Paint. Color. Uh, go with some blue. Mm, gray. It still don't look that good, but it's you can at least tell who it is. Yeah, man. Think of some ideas. Um, I got to get some content out. I can't spend every night just bullshitting all the time. I mean, other than talking to you guys, I mean like just bullshitting my way through Rippaverse content because I've got nothing at the moment, and I don't want to talk about other. I don't want to talk about just series I see without knowing the person or being able to ask them if I can use it. Um, I'd rather come up with my own theories. But like, yeah, doing little stuff like this, like for Rippaverse, some little minis would be cool. Um, like, and I didn't design this when I found this one, but it's actually way more detailed than you can tell on this program. It's just like, let's see, view, let's see, reflection, soothing, shadows. Shadows on, turn reflections off, X-ray. Yeah, so you see a little better in X-ray mode. A couple of the details, but shading. Yeah, shading. There we go. Okay, so yeah, y'all can see a little better there now. Me. Yeah, this one was done by somebody on Thingiverse. I think. I don't know who, or I'd give them a shout out. I saved this a while back, so. But like doing stuff like this for Rippaverse would be cool. It's not that hard to design, like miniatures, because you don't have to be 100% accurate with miniatures. But like a statue, it's got to be. There's a reason that it takes 30 hours to do it, because it takes about 30 hours to get the likeness of just the head. That's not including the body or anything. So, but the body's usually the easier part. It requires a lot less detail than, say, like, yeah. I mean, doing miniatures would be cool. Just to sit down and just draw them out and practice doing those. I can do those pretty easily. I could actually move them into Blender. I could animate them, as far as that goes. So, yeah, He-Man. Um, I've got the entire roster for Masters of the Universe as minis. I had one of my customers. He wanted, and he's actually my co-host for my other channel. Um, he wanted Castle Grayskull as a dice tower, so I printed it out for him, and it's like that tall, and then like that wide, and the folds open up, and you drop the dice down in the top, and it rolls off the mouth. Yeah, it's cool. And he wanted some He-Man minis to go with it, so I got him some He-Man minis. But I've also mastered turning like action figures into like full size helmets and stuff like that. So like I've got to print it, but I've got a Megatron helmet that I'm going to turn into a full size Megatron costume. Well, uh, this is true. Rep Masters of the Universe. That is not Masters of the Universe though. That's not Kevin Smith bullshit. The bad thing is, okay, so when I watched the first season, I hadn't slept. I'm an insomniac, so but I was delirious at the time when I watched it. So I could not remember what it was about, what was actually happening in the show when I watched it. I watched it the first night it came out, and I stayed up all night watching it. But I was like 2 days without sleep, so I was just delirious. I was enjoying the shit out of it. Right. I could not tell you what happened the next day. All I remembered is that I remembered seeing that story somewhere else before, and then I remembered where I saw that story, and it was in the DC comics, the New 52 comics. But He-Man didn't die in it or anything like that. I mean, he did, but he got brought back almost immediately because She-Ra was there and she healed him. But yeah, it was just the Skelegod stuff is what I'm talking about. Like that side storyline there was in the DC comics, and it's like you can tell that Kevin Smith kind of just watched like a couple episodes of the old show of the original, and then he watched a couple episodes, probably the first three of the 2002 one, and then he ripped everything else out of the comic book, and then made Tila whatever the hell Tila was. But it has the same problem as Kenobi. Like it was one good idea followed by 10 bad ideas. But yeah, like I said, I remember enjoying it the first time I sit through it, but I was delirious at the time, and I hadn't gone back and didn't go back and watch it after that until like I remember I was doing a podcast with somebody and they asked me what I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I liked it. I liked what they did with Skeletor. And then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, well, Skeletor wasn't in it. Because Skeletor was in 2 episodes. So then I went back and watched it again when I wasn't delirious, and I hated every minute of it. And then what's bad is that the first part of the season was a damn masterpiece compared to the second. That's bad. So I hated every minute of it. But I sit there and watched it, and now a buddy of mine, we were going to do a podcast that was it was a He-Man podcast after that came out, and we were going to do it as Skeletor and He-Man. Like, so we had like little miniature set up, like little pictures set up, and we were gonna move them around and stuff, and animate them a little bit and voice them. But we were gonna do it as Skeletor and He-Man doing a podcast, and it was just gonna be like a terrible movie reviews, but it's Skeletor and He-Man. But then the second season of that came out, and it kind of just zapped that energy, like every bit of that energy. Do I think he'll have lead villains? Like, what do you mean lead villains? Like Joker, or villains that have their own comic book? Like Deathstroke. And Deathstroke got his own comics. I think it all depends on like how popular the villain is. You know, he might do it and he might not. It's just I think some villain stories are cool, but I'm a villain fan. Like most of my favorite characters are villains. Like you ask me which character I like out of He-Man the most is Skeletor. Out of own comics, yeah. Okay. So yeah, like I think he will if it becomes if a villain becomes popular enough, right? So that's what it depends on. I don't know if there are going to be any redeemable villains or anything like that in this universe. There could be. It's it's kind of realistic to do that. Um, mine is as far as like my stuff goes. I don't write anybody with everybody's morals are skewed a little bit in my books. Like there's nobody that's a perfect saint in my books. Like one of my one of my stories is kind of funny. It's about like the Antichrist, but it's a girl, and they're just trying to get through high school. It's kind of funny. uh, but all depends on. It all depends. Like I don't write people as heroes and villains because I believe that everybody's the hero of their own story, right? So I might write a perception book from a villain's point of view, right? And I will write some just pure evil motherfuckers, evil villains that know they're villains, that revel in being villains. I have one that's a vampire character, and it was slightly based on Matthew McConaughey's character from The Dark Tower. So he's just an old ancient vampire that's just kind of speaks with a southern accent and talks like Matthew McConaughey does. I throw a Matthew McConaughey fake accent up and just go with it, right? But then again, I've got a blackguard in D&D that's a fucking hero. Like that's his aspirations is to be the greatest hero in the world. But he's based on Gaston from Beauty and the Beast at the same time. So, um, but for me, you need to be either a villain needs to be relatable, 100% relatable. Like you can see what's up, Piggy. Um, yeah, you can either see yourself in this villain's shoes if you go through the same steps, but they're not. I don't want to go with the sympathetic villain route. Like I never like doing that. I don't like you to. I don't want you to feel sorry for my villain. I want you to empathize with my villain. I want you to be able to put yourself in their shoes and be like, if that happened to me, that would be me. Right? That's what I want. That's how I write villains. But or alternatively, if they're not like that, they are the worst villain you will ever see. Like they are pure 100% evil. They know they're 100% evil. They're almost cartoonishly evil. But when one of them shows up, you know that you are in like D&D especially. Like you know you are about to have a fucking fun time. You're about to have a ride when one of them shows up. Like I made a character, and this was for a Castlevania game. Okay, um, I gotta reroute that. It says "by." I spelled "by" wrong. um, but there was a character that I was playing in a Castlevania game, right? And you got all these people trying to go through Dracula's castle, and they've been making their way through Dracula's castle the whole time for months. And I just joined this for one night because a friend of mine was running it, and I'm like, okay, dude, I want to be a Danfir. I want to be half vampire. He's like, all right. He's like, you got a kind of a personality? I'm like, yes, I've got a personality. It's going to be a mix between Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. And he's like, okay, is this a hero? I'm like, hell no, it's not a hero. But he's gonna keep these idiots alive because he finds them interesting. He thinks they're fun, so he's gonna keep them alive just for the sake of that, right? Because he wants to kill them later. He wants to kill them himself later. So he's gonna keep these idiots alive. And I started just playing it, and I was getting into it. Like I was throwing the Hisoka voice and all kind of shit, and it was creepy as fuck. Right. So just imagine a vampire clown that looks like a mix between Hisoka and Dio from yeah, with the vampire, vampire fangs, glowing yellow eyes. They knew what I was, right? But I just kept messing with them. Like the whole time, I was just picking at them, like Hisoka would. If you ever seen Hunter x Hunter, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, watch Hunter x Hunter. Like seriously, Hunter x Hunter is one of the best anime to come out in a long time, and I'm talking about the new one. Don't watch the old one. Don't waste your time with the old one. Ripper just highlighted some fan art. Let's see. See where he was talking about that one thing. Uh, let's see. Where it is. Where it is. Where it is. It hasn't shown up for me yet. But... Is it on Twitter? But yeah, I mean, I was picking at these guys the whole time, and they did not. And a lot of these, like my friends knew what I was gonna do, but like that, they know me, they know how I play. Like I once played a mind player named Purple, and I spoke with an Antonio Banderas accent, and he, like I said, he's a mind player, tentacles, everything. Name is Purple. Antonio Banderas accent, and he called himself Purple the Sexy. Purple the Sexy. But yes, so yeah, like, yeah, tag me in it. I appreciate that. Appreciate you showing that and stuff, Piggy. I can't do it right now. My phone's dead, and my Streamlabs keeps telling me to sign in, which I am signed in, so it's gone stupid. I don't like it. But anyway, that's a. I think running a D&D game in the community would be fun, for sure. I think what finally like made them catch on to what I really was in that D&D game was it was something like I told them that none of them get to die yet, right? And they're like, "What? Man, that's super sus." I'm like, "You don't get to die yet." Okay, yeah, that's DCL9. Yeah, okay. Alpha Core Leader. Yeah. Yeah, people have been doing some ridiculous stuff with DCL9. Like that's what it is. It's a character creator. But no, like I turned on the full Ahsoka voice and I just busted out laughing like the Joker. And they're like, "Dude, are you playing a villain?" I'm like, "How long have I been? Did it take you to figure that out?" You know, looking at my picture, like, "No, I'm gonna help you kill Dracula. Then I'm gonna kill all of you." Oh no, I got another story. All right, so buddy of mine, he's running a 3.5 game. And if you don't know about 3.5, you could break the game very easily. Like, if a DM does not know how to counter you and you are just building like crazy shit, then you can break their game really easily. So, buddy of mine, he's like, "Man, I don't care what you play. You know, play what you want." I'm gonna play a Dread Necromancer. "Okay, what's it do?" I'm like, "Fun shit." "Okay, well let's do that." All right, so there's a spell in 3.5 called the Necrotic Skull Bomb, and what it does is it removes levels from whatever it hits. So if you hit a dragon with it and they are affected by it, then it will strip actual character levels from them. So you can make a big dragon turn into a level 1 real quick by doing this to it, and then you can just slaughter it, no problem. But you don't get the experience for killing something that big. So I had to make sure that I killed it with every time I threw something at something. So I had to make sure I killed it. But anyway, so I was playing an evil character. It was a lawful evil character, but I was a necromancer, and I was just army building. That's literally all I did, and I didn't even pick up like regular dead folks as my army. I would raise skeletons, you know, whatever, make zombies, but I would never do it from like just regular folk. I would always do it from our enemies. Until one day when we got to a village,
right? We got to a village and there was a cancer mage, and the cancer mage, well, they're basically, touch you and give you diseases. That's basically their stick. But anyway, so we found a whole village full of dead bodies, and I'm like, zombies. No, you're evil, blah blah blah. And it was a good party, right? There was me and a blackguard. We were the two evil characters. We were acting good, right? They ended up killing the entire town while we were hunting for the cancer mage, and I resurrected them, right? I resurrected every one of the people in town as zombies, but I'm the evil one, right? Anyway, so later on in the game, I mean, they just kept on and on and on, right? The party just kept on accusing me of doing fucked up shit. I was an evil character, and I was raising the dead, but it wasn't the same as just doing evil shit for the sake of doing evil. I had a purpose behind my army building because we were going into hell to fight Tiamat. So I'm like, I'm gonna be ready to fight a fucking god. I'm bringing an army with me that I can throw at her to distract her while we're killing the shit out of her. That was my whole purpose. And anyway, so they ended up pissing me off one night in character, of course, in character, 100%. But they ended up pissing me off one night, and they ended up going through the portal first. Right? They ended up going into hell first. They had one guy that could open the portal for them both ways. So when they all went through the portal, I stopped right there at the portal, and I turned to the guy who could open and close the portal, and I just killed him. This is after I have killed every single boss in this game by myself because I could just intervene. The DM did not know how to counter me, and at this time. So I was just, and I even sit there one time. I'm just like bored, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you killing it? I'm like, I'm giving you guys a chance to kill it. Go have fun. And one of the characters and me got into an argument one time about uh, I was going through this dungeon just slaughtering dragons because there's a bunch of dragons here, and I was trying to build a makeshift Tiamat to throw at Tiamat. Okay, so but I killed every boss in this game just because I was a dread necromancer, and I had my spells to kill everything that crossed my path. Right, and this is not me bragging. This is just me telling a story that happened. But I just killed every boss. Well, one of the guys in the party warned one of the dragons and it escaped. So that led to an argument. Because I'm like, okay, well, we were sitting there arguing, and this fucking pit thing comes out. And we're arguing while this boss is heading towards us. And the pit fiend says something, if played by the DM, and I turn to, I'm like, you wait a goddamn minute. And I start arguing with the dude again, right? And he interrupts me again, so I blast him. I just blasted the boss in the dust, right? And I continue arguing with the fucking uh, the fucking other character that was protecting the damn bosses in this dungeon from me. And that's what led me to leaving them in hell. Right? I was gonna do my own thing anyway, so like once they all went through that portal, I'm just like dead. I killed the fucking dude who could open portals and resurrected him as my minion. So I just left him in hell. That's where that game ended for me. I just left those characters in hell. uh, Mo bitches. Yeah. Yeah. So Moral of the story: if somebody is openly being an evil character but not fucking over the party, leave them the fuck alone. Because if they're evil, eventually they're going to fucking betray you if you piss them off. Like, I was lawful evil. I wasn't chaotic evil. So I had my own morals that I had to follow, and all that stuff. And I was a servant of Vecna. But, I mean, fuck. I'm a dread necromancer who was trying to become a lich. That was my whole goal, was to become a lich, so I didn't have to worry about it. You get to level 20 as a dread necromancer, you automatically become a lich. You don't have to go through the ritual and all that shit. So that was my goal. And but yeah, that party, it pissed me. And this was my main party. I played with them every week, you know. Um, but I got a lot of fun stories from them, like a werewolf game. I was playing a white howler, and if you don't know about werewolf the apocalypse, white howlers are extinct. Um, they can be born through the bloodline, and that's the only way they can be born. But it's a rare occurrence because most of them have just become something else. Um, but my character, we pulled some time shenanigans. Basically, my character was from the past before they died. Like, he was put to sleep to wake up in the future because he was going to be needed. But he's a white howler. So if you don't, white howlers are basically the Hulks of the werewolf. Like, werewolves are strong. Like, these are superhuman werewolves. These are not like your fucking underworld werewolves, except for like maybe the big one, the big one in the second movie. I can't remember his name, but like something like that. That's closer to what these werewolves are. They are superhuman. They got powers and all that shit. But anyway, I had like super strength, and I had the ability, like, once you get to rank 5, which is hard to do in the game, but I made it to rank 5. So, but there's a power that every time you berserk, you get you get 2 points of strength added on, and 1 point of stamina. Well, the normal limit to the game is 5 or 10 to it. So, but you can go beyond that if you have. So, but I had this ability that allowed me to berserk it at free will. So every time, yeah, William, yeah, they're kind of like that. They're big, they're big, mean monsters. They are spiritual creatures too, so they get a lot of powers. But anyway, so my powers were based around, if I got hurt, I got stronger. If I got angry, I got stronger. It was all about stacking strength so that I could do a lot of damage, or a lot of superhuman shit. I was basically a god walking around with my super strength as a werewolf. Like, I could they've got a move in the game called wishboning, which two werewolves have to grab somebody and pull them apart. Somebody grabs an arm, somebody grabs a leg, and then they just pull and they rip somebody apart. That's one of their like moves that they can do. It's pack tactics. I can do that by myself in the game, and I did it. I mean, you're like just rip shit apart. But anyway, it was a Wild West game, so cowboy werewolves, always fun. But anyway, so there was one guy. He was what was called a, I forget what they're called in the Wild West. It's something like Iron Roller or something like that. But they're basically in modern day they're called Glasswalkers. They're tech werewolves. They're like super tech werewolves. So this dude, yeah, he's the smart one, right? But he had a power that allowed him to make his bullets unlimited. It's called Hands Full of Thunder, and it basically makes your bullets unlimited. You only need one bullet in the chamber, and you can use just all kind of shit with it. Grab a Gatling gun, and you got an unlimited ammo. But I don't know. He said something. We were doing something, and there was a bunch of vampires in this town or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he had a move that could basically turn any water into holy water. So I look at him, I see a water tower. I look at him, I look at the water tower. I pick him up and I fastball special him into the water tower, right? Just to flood the town with this with his ability, so we could wipe out the threat. Um, my character wasn't smart, but he was a battle genius as far as that went. So he's just like, yeah, okay, pick him up, fastball special. Just imagine a big werewolf picking up a smaller werewolf and just throwing them at a water tower. And a small werewolf in this is like 7 foot tall, but still full muscle, right? It's 7, 8 foot tall. So imagine this big ass werewolf that's stacked like fucking He-Man, pick out only a werewolf and just picking him up and just throwing this smaller werewolf with one hand into a water tower. Um, yeah. So, see, and then there was that character I was talking about earlier he was a blackguard in 5th edition, and he was a blackguard in 5th edition. It was an unarmed Arcana book. They never used it, but basically a blackguard is an evil paladin, but he wanted to be a hero. That was his whole deal. Is he got his powers from his own arrogance, his own confidence in himself. That was his god. He thought it was Tyr, but it was just his own bloodline and his arrogance that gave it to him. But anyway, he was an army killer, like one on one. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, I'd DM for them if they wanted, or I'd play a game with them. Either way, I mostly DM now. I don't get to play much anymore. But yeah. So, but anyway, this character hit. Like I said, picture Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, but with but as a paladin. Okay, so he was all about himself. He loved himself more than anything, and that's what gave him his power. Was his firm belief in himself, and like I said, his bloodline, which was discussed later in the game. But he was an army killer. So if he were fighting against one person, it's more of an even fight. But if he's fighting an army, that army's going to die. The entire army will die against him before he even stops, because he could go infinite, like with his attacks. The way he was built, he could go infinite, and they couldn't get away from him without him, just killing everything around him. Because if they backed up, he got an attack of opportunity. But yeah, it was. No, I never watched Teen Wolf, but yeah, he would go infinite against an army, and he would just, oh my god, dude, it was like half of his moveset were making other people in the army attack other people, right? So he could, it was his aura of trickery and something else, but he would make the army guys hit each other instead of him, or he would have like an illusion cast, and then they would try to hit the illusion or something like that, and it would the illusion could attack too. And it wasn't a full illusion, but it could attack in his place. It could cast spells in his place. So yeah, it was just crazy bullshit shenanigans that I could do. Um, but it's all within the rules that were set up. Oh well, apparently Sandman is coming out August 5th. I just saw a preview for it on Netflix on the screensaver mode. Apparently Sandman will be coming out August 5th or 6th. Hmm. I probably will not be watching it unless it's to review it. But I probably don't want to change to my other channel to review it, so probably won't be watching it. Um, yeah, I mean it's D&D is just one of those things I'm extremely passionate about. Is tabletop RPGs. I love them so much. Um, I said L5R and White Wolf are my favorite, or any White Wolf game, or what they call them, World of Darkness games. Like they're the best. And I love Vampire and World of Darkness because they've got every type of vampire you could think of having in it. Like they got the Nosferatu and they're real ugly, and they've got the Ventru, which are probably your more common movie type of vampire. You know, they got the hypnosis and all that shit. Um, but that's probably my favorite. So yeah, far as everything goes, yeah, yeah. Oh well, in White Wolf, I mean World of Darkness, it used to be owned by White Wolf Publishing. That's what they used to call the game, White Wolf games. But what's up? Yeah, I seen the trailer for the D&D game. Yeah, for the D&D film, I will probably actually watch it. It looks ridiculous, but I will probably watch it because it's a comedy, is what it is. It's not gonna take itself serious like the others. So I'll probably watch it, but mm, I don't like what they did with the dragon. I don't like the fat dragon, but I'm not gonna complain about it until I see the movie. Yeah. But yeah. So the thing about the werewolf, vampires are not the top of the food chain in World of Darkness. They are they're the top predator in the cities, but they're not the top predator in the world. Yeah, it looks like it'll be funny. I'll watch a movie that doesn't take itself serious. That's why I'll argue to this day that Welcome to Raccoon City is the best adaptation of Resident Evil ever, and it was bad. It was pretty bad, but it didn't take itself seriously. But it took itself more seriously than the Netflix adaptation or any movie after part one, after the first Resident Evil movie. So the first Resident Evil movie took itself 100% serious, and then after that they never did again. But it's still better than the fucking Netflix adaptation. But yeah, so werewolves are bigger predators than are a lot bigger predators than vampires. Like playing them, it is hard to play a mixed race game in World of Darkness, what we call a zoo game. It is hard to play that because you end up, I mean, unless all the players agree to it, right? And you have to set the rules right. Okay, so you know that if you're playing a vampire, you're not going to compare to that werewolf, right? Not in a fight. You're not going to be able to affect that werewolf um like you will a human. You got to stay away. I don't like zoo games that much. Um, just because of that. You play a werewolf game, everybody's got to be a werewolf. You play a vampire game, everybody's got to be a werewolf. The one or two exceptions can be a ghost in the party somewhere. But like a mage game, mages and werewolves don't get along. Tekken anime. Yeah. Now what I want to see is Metal Gear Solid. I want to see a Metal Gear Solid movie or anime or something. Like Castlevania, I like the Castlevania stuff. As far as Netflix adaptations go, it's pretty good. But and like as far as the Netflix He-Man went, uh, it looked great. It was just terrible writing. But and then that's where the problem that we're running into with a lot of stuff is that it can look amazing, but it's going to be trash because of who's making it. You can't have trash just nobody's trying anymore. Nobody cares anymore. That's why we're in this. But that's why we're going to win because they don't have any talent left in Hollywood. Like zero at all. I think all Kevin Smith's talent went out when he had a heart attack. Like you say what you want, but he hasn't been the same since he got since he had that heart attack. Not really. He's nowhere near as funny. Like if you watch the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, it's not funny. And then like I'll tell you right now, like Clerks 2, Mallrats, Chasing Amy. Those are some of my favorite movies. Like fuck, even fuck the Jay and Silent Bob movie itself. It's not as good as the others. Dogma is Dogma's great, but the others aren't. Um, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is not as good as Dogma or the others. But yeah, I think he lost his mind. But yeah, that's just me. See, I want to see a Zelda animated series or a live action something. Because Zelda, you've got a lot of room to work with, right? You got a bunch of different timelines you can work with. There's a bunch of seasons you can make off of Zelda, using different actors. Like you could make a whole saga off of Zelda. You can even tell original stories with Zelda. But I don't want to see. I've always wanted to see it, but I don't want to see it now. Let's put it like that. I'm afraid of what they would do to it. Like I wouldn't trust certain people to do it, and that they would be the people that work. If it was the team that worked on Castlevania, okay, yeah. I mean, it was that after the first and second season, it kind of went downhill, but it's still good. And then we're gonna get Castlevania Nocturne here pretty quick. But you really got to be a Castlevania fan beforehand. Otherwise, and you don't want to be too far into it, or else you'll start picking out what's wrong with it. Like Isaac. Yeah, I mean that's me. I don't want him touching anything. Um, Honestly, Sandman can be word for word with the comics and scene for scene with the comics, and it probably will be. But I don't trust him to make it. Yeah, I mean that is the good thing about Nintendo is Nintendo will protect their shit. They didn't in the '90s. Now in the '90s, they did not protect their shit well. But the bad thing is that the Super Mario Brothers movie is better than most of the crap that has come out recently. The worst video game movie in the 90s is better than the shit we're getting now. That's terrible to say. But a lot of those were low budget movies that were just made by fans. At least they were made by fans. Even Super Mario Brothers, it was made by fans who got the chance to make a movie. They just had to change the lore, some because of their budget restrictions. So, I mean, that I can respect that more, and still trying to make something good, as opposed to trying to destroy everything because you can't make something as good as somebody else does. And that's what it's all about. They're just trying to destroy. They're trying to demoralize us by destroying our myths and legends. And it worked for a little while, right? They pissed off a lot of us. They've driven a lot of us out of our own fandoms. But yeah, I don't trust. Capcom knows that they can make bank off of Resident Evil. They throw the word Resident Evil on something and they make money with it. They can actually do, but I'll give them this. They can do a semi-accurate representation of, say, Street Fighter, and it won't do near as well as Resident Evil, as a bad version of Resident Evil will. That's all just part of it, is that it will not do as good, and that's the problem, is that when they do something good, right, it either does terribly or it goes to fund, like nowadays, it goes to fund something worse, right? It goes to fund their agenda. That's the problem now. In the old days, it went to fund like a sequel, because they had to. If the first movie did good, they would make a sequel, but the sequel would be a cash grab. Oh yeah, man. Have a good one, Hill. But yeah, I'll be here tomorrow at some point, and Tuesday will be earlier during the day. I don't know what time, but I'll be here tomorrow and every day after that, as long as I still got a voice. Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. Do what you gotta do. I'm going to reopen this in case y'all, because I know some of y'all didn't get to see it earlier. I'm gonna reopen the This is a 3D builder, so I was just showing them that. But let's see. No, discard that. I want to open. I want to open the hat. Get to the hat. Where's the hat? There it is. There's the hat. Okay. So this is the giveaway. If you didn't see it earlier. Oh yeah. Well, the thing about Michael Bay is he will put butts in seats. They know that he's going to destroy what, but Capcom don't give a shit anymore. Capcom never really did give a shit. Not when it came to the movies. They don't care who buys their property and uses it the way they want. They never have. I'll give Welcome to Raccoon City, aside from the race swaps, it was fairly accurate. I mean, well, it mixed 1 and 2 together, but combining one and 2 together made it. It didn't make it any more or less accurate, but it did make it. It's probably the best adaptation of the Resident Evil saga. I never watched Monster Hunter. I don't like Mila Jovovich. I've never liked her, so Outside of The Fifth Element, I will not watch one of her movies if I can help it. Maybe Resident Evil 1, they're the first Resident Evil movie. I might watch that, but I'm not watching anything else with her in it. I don't. I actively avoid her shit. Yeah, I'll be printing that tomorrow. That's going to be the giveaway for reaching 100 subs. So one of you guys will get that once I get it printed, and I manage to just once I get it printed and I got it here to show, you know, and I'll be like, okay, well, here we go. I'm gonna pick somebody, and then I'll mail it out about a week later, something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be the giveaway. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Her second best was Resident Evil One, the only the first one. Right when they turned her into Super Alice, it got stupid. It got so stupid. I hated every minute of it. The first one was really good, but like they tried to take themselves seriously with it. That was the worst decision they could have made with that. Like it was just terrible. And then like Welcome to Raccoon City, it didn't try to take itself serious at all. It was just a big joke, which made it better actually because they didn't try to take the situation serious. It was like a comedy version of Resident Evil, but yeah, it's right. Oh my god, it got so stupid. It went so stupid. Like, and they kept increasing her powers like every fucking movie. Like, this is no longer a. There's nothing in Resident Evil that's a threat now. What the fuck are you doing? Right? Nothing in Resident Evil was a threat to her. Like, but it's just like every fucking thing is just so ridiculous with it. With Capcom especially, fuck Capcom. All right, Capcom created Street Fighter and some other really great games, but fuck Capcom. And then, which I'll still play some Capcom games, but I also won't play a lot of them. And then it's um, yeah, it's all just whatever really. I mean, like I'm so disenchanted with Hollywood and everything in Hollywood. Like I don't care. I'll watch an independent film over anything from Hollywood right now. Unless it's something old. Like I'll go watch Donnie Darko, and I got the Big Lebowski and Donnie Darko on DVD. I don't need anything else. It took me about 3 hours. It wasn't that bad on the hat. But it was just like scanning a file and scanning an actual hat, and then just piecing it together and then cleaning it up. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't like using like trying to make a statue or something. But yeah, like when I print it, like whoever gets it, don't try to wear it. It will fuck your head up. Don't try to wear it unless I make it bigger so it'll fit over another hat, something like that. But
Like it's gonna be about hat size. I can't even say you're gonna be able to wear it. You definitely won't be able to adjust it. But it'll be cool to have like just sit on, you know, on your desk or something. I may sell smaller versions of it later, or something. But for now, I'm only gonna print 3 of them. So there's only gonna be 3 in existence. I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna send one to Eric, and I'm gonna send one to the subscriber that wins. Which like I said, I'm gonna print it first before I even try to give it away. I don't want people bugging me about like when is it gonna get sent and all that stuff because I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take to print. Yeah, 3D printing is a game of patience. It people wonder why it costs so much because of the amount of time that a machine has to be taken. You're more of a beanie and a hoodie. Yeah, he'll eventually put those up. Um, and like I said, this is not for wearing. This is for like to set up somewhere. Um, I may make like bookends or something. That may be something that I make to sell on my store. I'm not gonna do any like I'll give away Rippa merch, but I'm not gonna do any like Rippa First shirts or anything like that. I don't want to pirate stuff. Um, unless it's like my own fan art of it or something like that. I might put shirts up for that, but I'm not gonna do anything else like that. But like I might make bookends, or I know I'm gonna make a statue, but I might make some bookends. That I think that would be cool to have like of Isam and Yara like on each side. Uh, that would be really cool if I could get the weight behind it. That's the only thing is I don't know if I can print something that's heavy enough to hold books. I can, but I don't know if I want to pay for that or not. But yeah, that would be something that would be cool. It would be bookends or like kind of like shell character busts or something like that. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'll have to see what I can do about that. Miniatures for D&D or something, or for miniature collectors that like to paint them, stuff like that. That it still counts as fan art. Let's see. Yeah, kind of like amiibo size, something like I could do stuff like that. That's done. That's not a problem. Um, I'll definitely look into doing stuff like that. To sell, but like I said, my only thing is like it takes a while to print stuff like that. Um, smaller details normally take longer to print than say that that hat is it doesn't have a lot of small details to it, but it's large. So the way the printer works is it's faster printing the shorter it is. If the higher it is, the longer it'll take. The wider it is, the longer it'll take. But I'm gonna print this on at least 4 millimeters, so it's gonna be yeah 4 millimeters. At least that. It may have to go smaller than that for just detail, but I'll see if I can print it on 4 so it'll be a little faster. Um, and I don't have to clean it as much. If I put it on 8, if I put an 8 size nozzle in it, it'll print in like 2 hours, but it'll be ugly as shit, and I'll have to do a lot more work to fix it, and I don't want to do that. I want to print it off as smooth as possible. Um, so I'll know how long that'll take when I do it. But like amiibos and stuff, they don't actually take that long because of their size. Like when it gets to the detail work, it kind of has to do a little extra work, and I have to slow it down, or it'll tear them apart. Like I'll have to show some of the stuff I've printed before, but I've printed like a this guy he made a Pennywise truck, and he wanted like Pennywise in the sewer. Like he replaced his uh airbag with this, right? And it's got Pennywise sticking his hand out of the sewers, and he's looking over the thing like that right there, and it kept shredding the balloon, so I had to cut the balloon out of it. Yeah, exactly. That's why 3D printing is so niche, is because people don't know how much it actually costs to do it, and it's not an expensive hobby. Like the machine is the most expensive part of it. Um, and you can get a decent one for about $400. A good, one to do hobby stuff with. I need one that's about. I need one of them $2,000 ones that go infinite. Um, it's got a conveyor belt on it, so it just prints one and then drops it off, and then prints another one and drops it off. Prints another one, or you can print like a whole spear going straight. They're neat, but they're like $2,000. So I need one of them, and I need a resin printer so I can do minis. Um, and those are my two big next purchases. Those two printers right there. But I can always do like helmets and shit like that. So if somebody wants one of Visor Guy or like Yara belt and crown stuff like that, I can do that all day. But yeah, people do not know how much it costs to actually. Oh yeah, yeah. People try to hustle you all the time. Like the way, I mean, if somebody wants to commission something from me, I have two ways to charge you. One of them is cheaper than the other. So I charge you $100 a roll for a whole roll, and anything that comes off of it is yours. Whatever. I'm losing money on that one, but that's the cheaper way. $100 a roll. Or I charge you by time. If I have to charge you by time, then I'm getting paid per hour on however long it takes to print, plus designing it. That all depends on what it is, how I charge you, right? So, $100 per roll is not bad. It's not a bad price, but like I have lost a lot of time and money doing it that way. Also, because I printed some stuff that was way more time consuming than I thought it was going to be. Um, like the last thing I actually printed, other than the little thing, but I printed a belt for Raven from Teen Titans, and it's the old comic version, the gold one. I printed that, and it took me a damn month to print all this shit. And it was little pieces. It was not big stuff. It was just like I had to design it, which took a little bit of time, which wasn't bad. I lost a little bit on it, but it wasn't as bad as I didn't take a full loss on it. It was just my mistakes cost me time. So I did not charge enough for this, but I didn't know what. But shit, shit. You ever do any like the con circuit or anything? You go to conventions and sell your art? Like I used to paint a little bit, so I was selling full size canvases of stuff. So I get it. People don't want a paper. for anything if they can get it on the cheap. But like if you don't make that money right, then like I priced one helmet I was doing. It was a $300 helmet. And then this is me trying to print it for myself, and I'm like, oh, it is 11:43, and I've been on stream for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I've been up since I worked a 12-hour shift today, so okay, yeah, well, that's the way to do it. I would, if you can, I would suggest like doing a bunch of it and then getting prints made of it, and then going to it like a convention and selling it. Cause I've done that before, and it's pretty lucrative if you can get enough of it. I never did prints. I got a friend that does. He paints and he does like scenes from like movies and stuff like that as paintings, and he's great. Like Jeff Chandler Arts, you look him up. But he sells prints, and his prints are like $5, $5 to $10, depending on what it is. And he sells his canvases for like 500. Yeah, burning the midnight oil. I'm trying to wear myself out. I don't want to have to just go and whine. I've been just here just talking. I didn't have enough art to actually do an art stream, but not enough art found up, and I haven't drawn any of my own. So there you go, that. So, but I've been just sitting here just talking. I got nothing better to do really other than sleep. So it's all depends. I'll be here talking as long as I got people to talk to. So till I pass out. It's yeah, just thinking about what all I can do for content. Yeah, definitely try to put yourself. I mean, if you do like so I was vending at a convention one time, and there was a girl that was next to me, and she was great. She was an amazing artist, but she had like just stuff she had done already. She had prints of, and she wasn't really selling that much, and like her art was great, and she wasn't that expensive either. And I told her, I'm like, look, if you want to sell at these conventions, because it was her first time trying to vend, I'm like, okay, so what you need to do is you need to look at the roster, see who the celebrities are that's going to be there, and you draw one of them. It doesn't matter which one it is, just draw one of them, and you make it a con exclusive, right? You mark it as con exclusive, whatever, and you will sell every one of them, every print you have of that. It doesn't matter who the celebrity is. And she was doing like a bunch of Tom Holland and Loki and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, people will buy those if those people are at the convention, but they're not gonna buy them just regularly. I've been to enough conventions to know what people want, what they look for. And I'm like, you might sell more the last day than you will any other day, but you're not gonna sell too much. I was trying to help her, right? And she took it the right way. I've noticed that she's at other conventions she started doing that. She took my advice on it because like that's what my buddy does. He'll paint a original picture just for that convention, or he might just sketch it out, whatever, and then he will sell that as a con exclusive. So if you can actually draw like realistically, that's a good way to make some real money right there. Oh yeah, man, I'll have plenty of content. I'm
The only reason I haven't had content over the weekend, like I normally, like I did last week, is because when I burned all my, the only theory I had was on death, really. Everything else I've just kind of been bullshitting. And it's like the awesome stuff. Every other one ended up becoming a conversation, which is what the fandom's about. You know, just conversations with other fans. So, um, once we get some, have I read many European comics? Yes, I have. I've read heavy metal. I've read uh a bunch of Vertigo stuff, but that's really my main exposure to it is the French version of heavy metal and Sandman, Vertigo. But that's mainly where I stop at. I don't read too many of that. I try to stick to I have to like the series, like really like it to read it. But I don't really I haven't read a lot of comics in years anyway. Like Rippaverse will be the first one in a few years that I've actually read. I bought some to collect and some to sell at other places like conventions and stuff like that. I was doing the convention scene heavy as a vendor for a while, so I bought a lot of these back here. You see, I bought them to sell or get signed, um, and sell. But this was before it all. I mean, some of it was before it all started getting super woke, like it has the past 2 years. I haven't bought comics in a while, but like you can see behind me, like I got the Sandman collection right here. All of them as the hard books. I've got I've got almost every Sandman book, but saying I'll watch the series is a stretch. I don't know yet. I think I'll wait and watch reviews of it first. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's why we're just. This is about all about like getting to know everybody right now. You know, in the community. And that's what I kind of built this thing to be more than just like review and news and theory stuff. It's about getting to know the community. Like that's why I wanted to do this. Is one of the reasons. Because I mean, I know people like they'll know my name when it pops up because I got a very unique name. Or have a very unique name on YouTube and my the darkest timeline. Yeah, y'all might know me by that name if y'all watch any of some of Young Ripper's stuff. If y'all watch his Twitch, you know I'm one of the main. I'll comment on it a lot, but like I can't keep up like with the chat in when he's live most of the time because most of the time I'm doing something else, so I don't talk that much, and sometimes it goes too fast to keep up with. But yeah, 100%. I'm just trying to get to know the community some. That's what this is about. So, but yeah, once it comes out, man, we'll have plenty to talk about. We'll have plenty of theories that we can do. Yes, yes. So, I've got a friend. He's not a normie by any stretch of the imagination. He's a nerd just like us, but he's older than we are. He's one of my best friends. But I'm gonna show the book to him when I get it. Like 'cause he reads comic books, but he he's read Spawn and he's read Wildcats and
a lot of the older stuff. Like he quit reading comics a while back, so I'm gonna introduce him to the Rippaverse, and oh yeah, yeah, we'll for sure have those. And the great thing about this community is we can handle ourselves. You know what I mean? If I'm doing a show and somebody comes in and they're making an ass of themselves, by all means, you guys handle it. If I handle it, I'm gonna call him a fucking retard and just go on about my business. You know, I don't waste my time on stupid. That's one thing I will argue with them on Twitter sometimes, but when that conversation turns retarded, I call them retarded and I move on. Like my reply guys are the stupidest people I've ever even seen. I swear they are just retarded. Like I got some of the same ones Rippa's got, but mine are. I mean, my God, that mine will just go just retarded. Like my reply guys are just Jesus Christ. Like I'm not even a big channel, but I pissed him off with Star Wars. Like I pissed a lot of Star Wars reply guys off with a video I did, and I mean it's bad because only 40 people saw it, but like I'll see some crazy ass responses. Like now I ripped the Star Wars channel a new asshole when they bullied a guy off of social media who had 2 followers. I got yes, exactly. Yeah, I wanted to be I didn't know that I was the first until I just decided to make it. But I knew I wanted to do this, and I'm like, I wanted to see, the art and stuff before I made it, just to see what it looked like because I didn't know who the artist was that was working on it or anything like that. I was trying to keep up with it, but like a lot of it's just information that just passes through one ear and out the other until you realize who's doing it and what they've done before, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start this channel. It was like a 5 minute decision too. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start this channel now. It's Thursday. Rippaverse has already made over $1 million. Let's do this. It's the Thursday after that Monday that it started. So, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know it's gonna blow up. I don't have to worry about that. As long as I keep at it, it'll keep growing. So I'm not too concerned about getting people. I do have I've got a Patreon and a subscribe star set up. So even if I get demonetized, I've still got a way to make money, and everything I make is going to go back into the channel one way or the other. So it's all about the community with me. I love this community. Like you got Ripper is 100% right when he says we got the best community. Like even just right now, just sitting here bullshitting talking. Oh yeah, let the haters show up. Now I'm I'm a firm believer that the the more you hate, there's going to be somebody that just hate watches because of you, right? So if somebody if you hate on somebody so much, there's gonna be like you're gonna push people towards that, and people who hate to watch you. Like that's why I don't really do any like. I've never tried to do like review channels because I've always believed that like you're gonna push somebody into. Oh yeah, I mean I'll be glad to have a co-host every now and then on here. Like yeah, anytime. I mean that's I'll be glad to. All right, later, man. Have a good one. Yeah, but yeah, I could always use a co-host to talk to every now and then. So yeah, have a good one, man. Uh, I'm probably gonna be here until I get tired enough to go to sleep. That or I'm gonna turn on a sitcom and go to sleep to it. Because those are the only things I can watch now. I mean, yeah, but literally, I cannot watch any movies, any new movies that come out. I can't watch. I can watch The Office. Like The Office, I will watch The Office 24/7. Like, yeah, maybe they know I exist. I mean, they've Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. You know, he saw me posting just in the chat and gave me a shout out, and I got 50 followers from 50 subs from that. Um, but yeah, I'm here every day. This is time I would be doing like nothing. You know, like drawing or I wouldn't say drawing is nothing, but this would be time that I would be just watching movies or something like that, watching TV. I watch sitcoms and it's like here's what I do. I watch sitcoms, The Office, Parks and Rec, um, and I don't have Peacock, but I watch those two, and Raising Hope. I'm trying to think of the others right now. I'm drawing a blank, but The Good Place. You know, I watch sitcoms. I like sitcoms. They're about my favorite thing to watch, other than like cartoons. I love cartoons. I love animation. Good ones. Ghost Investigating most of the time. Yeah. Um, and then I play D&D once a week. I'm trying to expand that, but to expand that to do it more than once a week, I have to charge for it. You know, $10 a month to kind of justify me being able to run it more than once a week. I love D&D, but it's tiring. It will wear you out, and then like I'm I'm not spending money on Marvel and DC anymore, so that saves money. You know, I was collecting the Legends figures and stuff like that for Marvel, and I was collecting the big McFarlane DC figures. So I only got a couple of those though. I didn't get that many. They're kind of expensive, and they don't look right with the rest of my collection. They look better, but they don't look right with it. So I stopped collecting them, and I'm gonna get every issue of the Rippaverse for sure. And I collect like prop weapons and stuff like that. Like you can see the scissors from Kill la Kill on my wall back there, the purple and red thing. That's just a wooden pair of scissors is all it is. But I like Kill la Kill. I like anime. Um, and it's just like Rippaverse is the one thing that I've in the comic sphere that I've been wanting waiting on, and I'm interested in. So yeah, the channel seemed like the right thing to do, and I'm like, man, Star Wars Theory made a he did a great thing by doing what he did. You know, just creating a Star Wars Theory channel while there were other Star Wars Theory channels around, right? And then mine is like
Yeah, I'm gonna do Ripaverse. I'm gonna dedicate myself to being Ripaverse, right? Because I believe in it. I believe in the message. That Marvel and DC can be defeated. They can be taken out. I believe that because I've seen it before. I've seen it happen before, right? And I don't believe in forgiving them for this when they decide to turn around. I do not believe in forgiving them for giving us from what they've done to the things that we've loved, right? Mm. I believe it's time for the alternative to come out, and it's time for the alternative to win against them. Um, the problem with most independent people is they don't even have that as an idea to get rid of them. They're just or they're doing it to own them. In which, and if you're doing it to just own them, make fun of them, that's something, but it's not enough. You know what I mean? Like you've got to be willing to completely replace them, and you've got to be able to completely replace them. I believe that the Rippaverse can do that. Um, where other people might fail at it. Like I believe that my comic will be a Vertigo killer. So it'll kill a part of DC, but it won't be enough to kill all of DC. Right? It'll be mine will be competitive with a small fraction of DC, if that makes sense. Whereas Ripa's is superhero centric. It's more focused than mine is. Mine is more niche than anything. One of my comics is. The other ones are a little more easy to digest than this is, but they're years away. My comics are. I'm working on a Universal Bible right now, and I've got maybe one page done of it with two drawings. I'm doing the concept art and the Universe Bible in the same like sketchbook. I'm writing it out as I do it. Yeah, so my whole deal is what's going to entertain me and not piss me off every time I try to watch it, like or try to read it because I'm not I'm not getting rid of the collection that I have. You know, I still I'll still read all them, but I'm not even a big comic book reader anymore, and I've come back from this. Like I quit reading a while back, and I was still watching the movies because I'm like, there's got to be a good one somewhere. Like they got to course correct, and they never did. They kept getting worse. So as long as the movies are getting worse, I'm completely against it, and I'm a cosplayer. But like I'm so disenchanted with Star Wars right now that I don't even want to put on my most noticeable costume, right? My big winning costume. I don't even want to wear it. Well, it's hot right now too, so that's part of it. I can't wear that thing in the summertime. It will kill me. But at the same time, I'm kind of just completely disenchanted with it. So I'm trying to just get everything together, get everything like situated, and I want to be the biggest Rippaverse fan channel because this is the voice of the fans right here. I already know that Eric's watching. Eric has watched it. I already know that. He's said as much that he's been watching them. He's been watching the videos, right? So I already know that they know I exist. I've just got to get to where, and I also don't want to rely on anybody else to get my channel bigger, right? Just somebody just showing up and instantly makes my channel bigger.
somebody gives me a shout out, that's great. I like that. That helps. But I also want to build this channel on my own. You know what I mean? Like, or want to at least feel like I built it on my, from the ground up. Getting the first 100, that showed me that it is possible. It's very possible to do it. Um, some of those came from Jeremy, giving me a shout out, and I appreciate that. But I've also been doing the work. I've been coming on here every day since I started it. And if it ain't nothing but 10 minutes or it's 5 hours, I've done it. I've been putting in the work, and I'm gonna keep putting in the work. I will be on here every day if I'm able to, and that's what kind of that's what you if you want to get into doing channels, that's what you got to do. You've got to do it as much as possible, and the algorithm, it likes certain things. So, and yeah, I'm just trying to do my own thing here. Right, yeah, there's no better feeling. Like the first time I got my I messed up when I started 3D printing, and I 3D printed my first one turned out perfect. Okay, and it was just a costume piece that I printed. I made the mistake of thinking that it was easy. For about 2 months after that, I could not get a single print right, and I had to work at it, and I had to fix my machine, and make it work and tweak it every single time I wanted to use it until I finally got it to the settings I wanted it to, and then now it works perfectly. Right? I got two printers. I use one of them right now. The small one pisses me off. The little one I bought before pisses me off. Now to even look at it, but I'll use it when I have to print certain things, or if I got to print two things at one time to make it easier. But there's no feeling like figuring it out yourself. Because I tried to watch YouTube videos to do it, and I tried to do what they said, and it didn't work for me. Because what they don't tell you is that like every machine is different, every one of them. But I've also like the job I'm at right now. I work part time right now. I was trying to build my 3D printing business, and that took a nosedive about the time that con season hit. So I haven't really made any money off of it. So, but my part time job, I was a full time employee there, and I worked all through COVID, and but I've been with that company for 6 years. Well, it'll be 7 in July, 7 in August. Uh, but I've been part time since February trying to make my business work. And it was working for a little while. It was working very well for a little while. It's just con season hit and now it's slow. So, but if somebody like wants something printed over here, I can do that. If somebody's a costume person and they want, you know, something printed and commission it, I mean, by all means, commission it if y'all want something. I don't mind printing anything. I'm going to use this. I'll use my printer to print stuff like this hat. And do giveaways with it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm learning how to use Blender now. After a year and a half of 3D printing, I'm finally learning how to use Blender because I had time to sit down and actually learn it. And like I know how much time it takes to sit there and just work out like a statue or something. It takes about 30 hours just to get the head to look right, and then you might have to bounce back and forth. But I'm a master. I'm a jack of all trades. I can learn anything. I can learn how to do anything. Um, and I'm patient enough to sit there and master it if I want to. But a lot of the times I'll just get bored doing something like that I'm not enjoying. Right? If I don't enjoy it, I'll get bored. Like uh, I don't mind working at it. I've got a very similar work ethic to Eric. So sitting here for 3 hours talking to you guys, that's not even slight work to me. It's enjoyable to me. It gives me something different to do with my nights or my days or whenever I do it, than to just sit here and do nothing, or sit here and try to play a video game that is made even more exceptionally difficult because my controller is busted. um, so which I don't mind difficult either. I don't mind playing games. It's just video games are not really like my thing to do. That's not the thing I would prefer to do. I do it every now and then, and I have built a Twitch up to play some video games with. But I mean that serves the same purpose as this, just to sit there and just chat while I'm doing something. I may have one game every now and then that I want to play, but I've got a bunch of games on my PlayStation that I've never even touched. I downloaded them and I bought them and I never even played them. I've got a bunch of them that are like that. Um, I play Ghost of Tsushima if I've got, if I'm bored or yeah, exactly, yeah, 100%. Um, my thing, I was talking about that job I had. I've been at it for 7 years. I'm burned out on it. I want to work for myself. That is my goal, is to work for myself the rest of my life and never work for another person ever again, other than myself and my customers. Like that is my main goal, is to be self sufficient and work for myself and not have to work for anybody else. Um, so the 3D printing, it's a means to an end, and it works, but only when con season is not going on, when people are actually building costumes before. So like I'll get more commissions than I can handle before con season, but during con season it's completely dead. So I gotta have something to do to entertain myself, at least. If I'm gonna be broke, I might as well be, entertaining. But yeah, so this is just a way to have fun and get to know you guys, and have build something for myself. That's what this is, and build something for all of us, really, because I know what it's like to be a voiceless fan. Not have a say in what happens with what you're doing and what you're watching and what you're enjoying, right? And this is the opposite of that, right? We actually have a voice in this community. You know what I mean? It's like we just because people were, say, interested in Yara, then that we're probably gonna get a Yara comic out of it or something, later. But we got a Yara shirt out of it already. The Yara cover is exceedingly popular just because you know the fans liked it. The fans reacted extremely well to that. Um, so stuff like that, like we actually have a voice in this community, which is a rarity. Normally, like people. I'm normally quiet. I'm normally the quiet type. I'll sit back and I'll listen and I'll watch and I'll see where something's going, and that's how it goes. But in this community, I feel like I have a voice here. I can shout at Marvel and DC all I want. And it's not gonna change shit unless I go to work for them and I become an editor. Nothing changes. But here, I feel like we've all got a voice, right? And it all matters. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Most people lived at the mercy of somebody else, and like I'm as self-sufficient as I can be right now. You know, I've got to work for somebody else right now just to pay the bills, but that's just a means to an end too. You know, um, as far as I can cook, I can do all that. I'm good on all that, but yeah, it's just every everything is a means to achieve my goals as far as that goes, and this community's kind of aligns with my goals, so I don't have to worry about that. I can just self sufficiency 100%. Um, 3D printing it's fun. It's a nice little hobby to have, or it can be lucrative, extremely lucrative, depending on what you. I print some car parts and stuff, like the little plastic clips that go in cars or bushings and stuff like that. I can print that stuff, and I've made a good bit of money doing it. Just for some of my customers that come to my job for some mechanics in town. I make quite a bit of money doing that. Just printing the same thing over and over and over. Um, so it's not. It's just that everybody's slow right now. So yeah. This is it keeps me sane. um, for sure. Having just this community to fall back on, right? It's like we do have the best community on the internet. There is no disputing it. The left will always eat itself, and we're yeah, yeah. That's well, like I was gonna start the 3D printer business in 2020, in January of 2020. I had the plan, everything. I was just about to order my machine, and then the lockdowns and shit started. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep the job I've got right now. I'm not gonna step out and do my own thing yet. I'm gonna keep this job, right? Just to make sure, because it was considered essential at the time. So I'm like that. I worked harder that year than I have my most of my life, and I was laying brick at 9 years old. Okay, I was helping my grandfather lay brick when I was 9 years old during my summer vacations. So I've worked hard my whole life. Work is nothing to me. But um, that job that I have is kind of a break from working hard. If I think about it, like it's just retail work, but it's kind of a break from actually working like I did before. Um, I've
installed cable. I've done all kind of stuff. Um, I was a manager at McDonald's for a little while. Like I've done a lot of different kinds of jobs, and I I don't enjoy working for other people. I don't like it. Not unless it's I helped teach martial arts for a little while, MMA. Mm. I used to train MMA in my 20s, and I love that. But I've done a little of everything as far as jobs and stuff goes. So, but I love to design. I love to be artistic. I love to create. Right. Um, I guess that comes from years of drawing and like I said, laying brick up until I was 18 years old. Uh, I, the symmetry of laying brick, it's a damn hard thing, but when you make it look good, it looks good, right? And like I said, I've done a little of everything as far as it goes. So, but like this type of stuff now, I love cosplay. Like cosplay is one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite hobbies, but I don't get to do it as often as I would like because we don't have that many conventions around. Um, I mean, I think we got like 4 or 5 around uh, all year round, and I might go to 2 or 3. But like, just designing something and printing it off and making it look awesome, and then being able to wear it, you know. This is not completed. This is supposed to be Green Ranger Shredder. It was too small, so I just tore it apart. Yeah, exactly, man. You can't let fear control you on that because you would your brain will tell you one thing, and then before you know it, you're too old to do it anymore, and that happens to a lot of people. They just get too old to do what they wanted to anymore. And I always told myself, like, if I work at this company for 10 years, like, if I make it to the 10-year mark, I'm just going to retire in this company. I'll never, accomplish my shit. So I'm just going to retire in it. So in February of this year, I went part time. I'm like, I told them, I'm like, look, I'm not going to do like I did the last 2 years. Um, cause I'm not going to do that again. I was the assistant manager at the job, and I'm like, I'm stepping down. Like I'm done being the assistant. I'm done being this. I'll work on the weekends. That's what I work. I'm gonna go do my own thing, and I did it. And like, but just now it's kind of slow. But I mean, 3D printing is, you know, like how many people can say they have a tree spirit from Princess Mononoke to give to a Princess Mononoke cosplayer when I see her again. Because it's a friend of mine, his wife, and they're really good friends of mine. But she cosplays Princess Mononoke, and I told her, I'm like, I got something for you. I didn't take it to her this year. I forgot, but I'm gonna have to take that to her, the little tree spirit. But I mean, it's just you can't let fear destroy you. Like I think that's you. I mean, you can, but then you know you regret it the rest of your life. I think if you do let fear win, you end up regretting everything the rest of your life. I'm Yeah, I mean, that's good that you've been able to get back into it, because so many people can't. Like after they get out of it, they can't get back into it. Like I'm having to reteach myself how to draw something that's not anime, and it's kind of awkward style right now, just because I'm not used to it. I haven't drawn in forever, but I know I'm gonna have to at least do the concept art myself if I want it to end up looking like what I want it to look like. So, and I'm working on 3 different comic books right now. One of them's a manga, but or manga style, and then one of them is kind of a superhero book, but it doesn't really have superheroes. It's got myths in it, like mythological heroes that are in the modern era. So like I was comparing it to every character is Thor, you know, type of thing, or Wonder Woman, type of thing. Every character is a mythological hero type. So that's a little different. And then the other one is a, a different protagonist every book, but it's all connected. Like think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And then yeah, I mean that like it's definitely inspired me to actually do my comic book, or my animation. I may do a comic. I may do it as a D&D game. You never can tell which way it'll go, but either way, like my the greatest story I've ever told was a D&D game. Um, and it lasted for it's about a year long story as far as it goes. But it was fairy tale characters versus Cthulhu monsters. And that was the basis for it. That's how it started. But that's my magnum opus is that, and I got to do a sequel to it. And the sequel had 2 parts. One part took place in the past, and one part took place in the present. So there were kind of 2 stories going on at one time in it. I'm glad to hear that, man. That's cool. You know, I this community, it helped me too. It helped me wake up and I realized what I wanted to do. So but yeah, it's like I said, I'm not doing anything but sitting up here talking and bullshitting all day. When I do it, but yet anyway, I'm just trying to give back to the community a little bit. That's all it is. Like if you guys talk in my chat, and all that, I'm gonna try to respond as long as I can. Eventually it'll be full, but I'm always gonna remember who was with me from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, especially you guys. Like, if I see you guys in the chat, I will call you out. Give you a shout out, whatever. If I see the guys who were with me from the beginning, for sure. That's just. Oh yeah, man, me too, me too. Like it's just like this is. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. Like the future is looking brighter every day, just because of like this channel's helped me out a lot. It's helped me to like refocus everything and remember what I want to do. Cause yeah, and I'm not even the type to normally just get on and talk. Like if you watch some of my like Twitch streams or something like that, if I don't have anybody in the chat, man, I'm just quiet. I don't even like actually talk unless I've got somebody in the chat to talk to. As far as that goes, but this is kind of, helped me with that a little bit too, just doing this, because I'm normally like sitting there focusing on the game and not even thinking about it unless somebody's chatting with me. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten more used to just bullshitting than bullshitting, talking with the chat. I mean, because I always have people in this chat. I don't have to worry about it. Um, on my other channel, it's basically dead in the water right now. But I'll bring it back later when I need to or when I want to. If I got something like, I mean, it doesn't really matter which channel it is that I'm on, but that other one is going to be the name of my like comic book company, the Darkest Timeline. Like, so I may convert it and I may just wipe it out and start it again when I get so I get a fresh algorithm with it when I get the comic book done. So that'll be a couple years. But yeah, I may do that just to help it out. But I mean, I'll show a little piece of my universe Bible right now if you want to see it. Something I was working on today. Oh, or one of my universe Bibles. I gotta make the others, but oh shit. Okay. Like I said, I've been trying to teach myself to redraw in a different style that I'm used to. So it's kind of going adds up right now as far as drawing goes. But I'm getting the concept art down. So like there we go. All right. I did that one today. I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't see where. Yeah, like I did that one today. But that's just concept art. This one I started yesterday. I got the idea. I just got inspired for it yesterday, so I started working on this one. My other one, I had the idea down for about 6 months, but I haven't really written anything or had time to actually do anything with it because I've got to have a different artist to do the work on it. I know the stories, like, or at least two of the stories out of the 22 on that one that I'm gonna do, but I've got to like sit down and do those. Those are um well, this comic right here, it's like modern gods, like mythological gods uh that are in modern day. So like that's Thor and Loki that I just showed, and they're in a biker gang, like called the Old Gods of Asgard. But like so their power is greatly diminished because they're in modern times and all that. So they're kind of just doing shit, right? And Ares recruits them recruits one of them for a team. And Ares is the god of war, so he's always powered up, because of war. Thor and Loki, that all the rest of the guys, they all kind of require worship, so that's why they're weaker than they would normally be. Um, it's just an idea I had yesterday, like just yeah. So I'm kind of working out the details of that right now, and then my other book that I will work on one day. I may do it as a D&D game. I may do it to try to get
the idea out before I put it to paper. Because I've learned that's a good way to do it is you play it out. But I'm not a writer. I'll go and admit that I'm not a writer. I can't sit there and just write and write and write anymore. I used to do text-based role play, but I'm not the guy who sits there and writes his story down. I sit there and draw the pictures out, and then I come up with the story as I go. But if it's D&D, I can write the story down, right? I can get the notes down. So if I do it as a D&D campaign before I do it as a comic book, then I've got my script. If that makes sense. But like I've got one story. I could turn the fairy tale one into a comic book. I just don't want to right now. If I do that, I want to work on one or two things at a time. But the other one, I need a different artist to do the work on it because my style will not work for the tarot card book. And the tarot book is it's going to be at least a 100-page book, but it's unique because you don't have to have a specific order to read it in. The way it works is you can read any of 21 of them in any order you want to. Then you read the supplementary books that go with it, which is the other 52 books that go with it, making a total of 74 books. So when you read the splat cards that go with them, and I'll have them listed in each book, which other books go with them, but you don't read them in any order, okay? Because the order doesn't matter. So when you go through it one way, you only read the top page. You don't read the back page. You only read the top page. You go to the next page all completely, and you don't look at it at all. You just keep going that way. When you get to the end of the book, you flip it over, flip it upside down, and you turn it around. Flip it on its back. Then you read it the other way, and that's the inverted side of it. So tarot cards have two meanings: the standard side and the inverted side. So I wanted to kind of implement that into a book, and that's the best way I've come up with to do it is to have it the back page be upside down and read that way. So it's two different sides of the same story in one book. So it's actually two books in one, and it's because of that makes it a 200-page book. But it's two different stories in one. You might get like what, and I'm not gonna tell you which one is canon because they both are, but it's gonna be like which one of these is more the truth of what is happening. If you think about it these are Vertigo books, so if you know anything about them, they're dark and they're magic. Usually, the good ones are anyway. And I've got a cover artist for that. I don't have an interior artist because I know what my interiors I want my interiors to look like. I've got another. I got plenty of stories, man. I've got stories for days. I'm a great storyteller. I do D&D all the time. I have a mafia superhero game. It was a D&D game that I was gonna run, but I wanted to do the game and then turn that game into a comic book. But it's like takes place in the 1920s instead of like modern day, and it's an alternate world that history has changed here because of superheroes being introduced that early, and basically those characters were, the aesthetic of it was that they were, the comic book was going to be black and white for normal people, but anybody with powers were in full color. So it kind of be like Sin City with that. That was a different book altogether. But
going back to the tarot card one, like every one of the main 22 books focuses on a different character. And they all have a different meaning, and that every every book correlates to the meaning of the card. So the tarot cards are supposed to read your past, present, and future. So the order you read these in would change like how you would perceive the books as far as that goes, right? So if you read one book ahead of the others, you might view one character as a hero, where in another book they might be the villain of the story, or something like that. You might not know who's who if depending on which book you read, but you would not have to, but you would not read um you don't have to read them in any specific order other than the last book, because the last book would be the end of the story, period. There wouldn't be no continuation after it. It would be that's the end of the story, and it's got an inverted side too. So once you read all that, but that's kind of how I wanted to have this neat little aesthetic. I've got the cover artist is lined up for it, but I don't have I don't have an interior artist, and that's what I haven't really been looking for one either, because I know the style I want to do it in, and it's just a matter of sitting down, writing out the script, and then finishing the first book before I even try to do anything else. So my universe Bible for that one is super fucked up looking. Like nobody else could make sense out of that. Yeah, it keeps readers engaged, but it's a limited comic series, and people would get different interpretations by just based on how they read it. Like that's kind of the idea, is like to release all 22 issues at the same time, right? The 22 main issues at the same time. Then having those 22 issues fund the others, right? That's my idea. Um, you know, but release the 22 main issues at the same time, or the 21 main issues. Sorry, the 21 main issues, because the Tower would be the last book in the series. That is a definite end to it, but the rest of them are, you could, like I said, read in any order. Because they're not fully connected to one another until the last book. So that's where you find out that everything's going on. But like the 21 issues, and then the supplementary books that go along with the 22 issues, and depending on which order you read the supplementary books in, it changes your perception of the story. Like if you read the Devil first, then you're gonna think this character is the fucking hero, right? As long as but you read another book, this character could be the antagonist of it, but they're not really connected, other than they're not really connected stories as far as it goes, other than insert in small ways, through the supplements. The supplements connect everything together. And like I said, it'd have a read order for the supplements once you pick up a book. It'd be like, okay, so you got to read this, then you got to read these minor arcana cards right here to get this full story, and those might just have like side characters or something, But it's an idea, and it's an idea I've been working at for a little while. Is the tarot card book, and then I've got one that's it's basically Kung Fu Panda meets Zootopia in the Edo period of Japan.
So they got the predator and prey mentality for animals, but it's like samurai. It's more of a manga than the other one is. But I've got dozens of stories. I've got a D&D game that is a cross between Godzilla, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Avatar's Last Airbender. It's not a crossover, but it's like a kind of a mix between them. And like you play as like say if you're playing part of the Godzilla tribe, right? Where you've got Godzilla features, blah blah blah. And yeah, that's just one of them. I'm running a Pokemon game on Twitch right now. That's Pokemon Pirates. That's just for stupid fun. Oh yeah, well man, I mean this channel is just the beginning of that. Well, yeah, I'm trying to once I build my audience up and all that, I'm gonna do like Rippa did. I'm gonna fund it all myself. I've just got to get my audience up, and I've got to just stick with it. That's all it is, and I will begin working on it. Cause like I said, I've got a cover artist. He'll do it for me, and it's gonna be amazing work. Like I got my cover artist already. I won't accept anybody else to do my covers but him. Um, at the moment, because he's a painter, so his art's amazing anyway, and he does like great like scenes from movies and stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna get him to do my covers, and or he might do my special covers. Let me put it like that. But I'll have to find an interior artist, and I'll have to find all that because I got a very specific aesthetic I want, but I want the interior artist to be the exact same one throughout the entire series. I don't want to have it looking different book to book. That is one thing I am all about is symmetry and yeah, all in due time. Like I said, I'm a few years away from mine, but Rippaverse is a good place to start getting back into comics, so I can do that again, and that'll give me time to finish up my stories and time to find somebody who can do the interiors. I'm sure there's somebody that can do the style I'm looking for, but yeah, I just oh my god, oh, it's all just about time, spending the time to do it. I'm still young. I can still do it all day long. Just gotta just gotta fund it. That's all. Get it made. But it'll be here eventually. Darkest Timeline comics will be here sometime. And said I share a community with some of the greatest people I've ever heard talk. I'm sharing their community. So it's all about just making life work for you. You know that's the best you can do is make it work for you instead of working for it. You know what I mean? You gotta just do your own thing. The best way is you do what you're good at, or you do what you like, do what you love. Um, yeah, man, I'm about to go myself. I'm gonna go get a shower and I'm gonna go to bed here because it's 1 o'clock and I've been on this thing for 4 hours. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Uh, yeah, get some rest, man. That's all it is. And I'll be here tomorrow when whatever time I decide to. Tuesday will be the only day that's going to be a little different time that I get on. It's going to be earlier during the day for sure because I have a D&D game Tuesday night. So um, yeah. Anyway, uh, thanks for joining me tonight and rock out. Peace out.